about to turn it up. Turn it. We about to turn it up. Turn it. We about to turn it up. 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 We about to turn it up. We about to turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it. We about to turn it up. Turn it. We about to turn it up. 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 Turn it up, go, 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 go. We about to turn it up. We about to turn it up. Turn it up. We about to turn it up. Turn it. We about to turn it up. Turn it. We about to turn it up. 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 Go, 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 go. We about to turn it up.
How you doing, everybody? How you doing? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing today? We hope you guys are doing good out there. Welcome back. I hope you guys had a good week in sports for yourself. All right, we're gonna get right to it, and we're gonna jump right into baseball this week. We're gonna do a little different. That's because the NBA Finals, such happened. We will discuss it.
Yep. God damn it.
What's the
Fucking
matter there,
internet.
bud?
I don't know, my internet's being a fucking cunt right now.
Oh, nice. You should have said it like Jim Jeffries. It's paying a little bit of a cunt right now. Alrighty. So the Yankees just keep rolling.
They do.
And rolling hard they are. 50 and 18 as of last night. I had them. Was it? Did they win today, or are they
They're
playing
playing
today?
tonight at
They're playing
7.
tonight at 7. And who are they playing?
I think they're still in Tampa, I
Are they?
believe.
No, I think they closed that series out last night.
Today's
No, they're
Wednesday.
at Trop. No, they are at Tropicana, I believe.
Yes, they're in Tampa. They play Houston this weekend.
Okay, that's a big series this weekend for the Yankees. We're gonna see. Well, we know who Houston is. We've known who they've been the past couple of years. I mean, cheaters or not, they're a pretty good fucking ball club all
They
around.
are. I told you they were a good ball club.
I mean, they started off rocky, which everybody's fair to, have a rocky start. You know, I'm not making a pun here either with the Colorado Rockies, because
I mean,
so
it didn't take the Astros long to hop back up, to get
no,
back on the, and keep and get back on the bike and keep pedaling.
yeah. All right, so Toronto is 38 and 30. Boston 38 and 31, Tampa Bay 37 and 31, Baltimore at 30 and 39. So we all know where Baltimore is going. They're going right in the shitter.
I would honestly like, pending any like significant like momentum shift. I really don't see the bottom two teams, 4 and 5. I really don't see them making any kind of headway.
I,
You
I would
know,
I would just say this: watch out for Boston, because Boston started out terrible, and they're coming. They're
they've
coming.
played a lot better lately. They
Yes,
have.
and they're gonna. I think they're gonna play better. I think Toronto's got to get their head out of their ass, because a lot of people, including myself, we all took Toronto to win that division.
Yeah, I
It
did.
was it's their year to step up and actually do something with their lineup, with their improvements, and Guerrero and everybody else that they have on that team.
Well, I really think, like, I haven't been watching them, but for the most part, I really think it's their pitching. Honestly, I mean, we know that they have a stacked lineup. They have a very good lineup, top to bottom. But I don't, their pitching is, I think, what's the weakest point. Their weakest point.
Didn't
So,
they get bullpen help? So their bullpen has to be better.
honestly, I don't know. I don't know what additions they made in the off season. I mean, I know they made some moves. They brought over Marcus Simeon in the offseason. I think it was the year before they brought in George Springer, I think. So,
George Springer.
with
Okay.
Vladdy and Dante Bo Bichette, um, there's
Sorry, I
somebody else.
fucking love that guy's name. Boba shit. He's pretty good. I don't think he's as good as his father, but he's pretty damn good.
No, I mean, he's not a home run hitter like his dad
No,
was.
he's a contact hitter. So like I said, I think Boston's gonna push, and the Yankees and Boston haven't played each other much this season, as much yet, not yet. So they got a quite a few series to play against each other. So if Boston could just stay their course right now, and maybe close the gap to about 8 games, their division games could be very vital.
I don't know. It's going to be hard to close that gap if the Yankees don't win. If the Yankees don't lose.
Well, it's a very fine line with the Yankees right now, and that fine line would be: are they going to keep winning all the way out, all the way through the regular season, have one of these magical seasons like the Mariners in 02, I believe,
0-1.
01, And then you get to the second round, and then everybody has that slump. The whole team gets that slump because you haven't had it yet.
I mean, yeah, at some point, like we said, yeah, like I've said before, on the show and off the show, very few teams in history have hit the ground running at the beginning of the season and just and they just go. So,
Yeah, this
I
is
mean,
true. This is true.
and plus you got to figure, all right, if they have a sizable lead like this come September, do they start giving more guys rest
Yeah, I think
to
Aaron Boone.
prepare for the playoffs?
You're right. I think Aaron Boone, though, with his system, what he's been doing all year long, as in, uh, choosing guys for rest here and there and getting people rest and being deep. I think that should play a factor, but still, they haven't had a slump yet. And
They haven't really hit a skid yet.
to me, it's great, but it is a cause for concern. Do you don't like because you don't want to run this all the way out to the regular season, and then you go to the postseason, and then everybody shits the bed. It's one
Yeah.
thing if one guy has a slump or two guys have a slump. You got seven other batters. If your core five of your batting lineup hit the shit, you're gonna be out. That's
Yeah.
playoff baseball. They don't fuck around in playoff baseball.
I mean, yeah, as far as the regular season goes, it's not really a cause for concern. But if you make the obviously, well, not obvious because anything can happen in baseball. But I mean, with the way it's going, if they do make the playoffs and like you said, they hit that skid, then it's going to be a bad time.
Yeah, this is one of the worst times. No, that would be one of the worst times. Excuse me, for them to have it. So that's why I said it's a fine line. Now,
Yeah,
as a Yankee fan, do you want that slump to come now?
I would if I was a Yankee fan.
Yeah,
100%.
I would rather than in the playoffs. 100%.
I'd rather see like for example over the course of the next 20 to 25 games, I'd rather see them go like 12 and 13 or 10 and 15 and kind of just like get it over with and get it out the way and then
and then get back to your winning
yeah.
baseball.
So and like back to the American League West, the Rangers are 32 and 35. They're in second. They're 10 and a half. They're 10 games out. The Angels are 33 and 38. The Mariners are 30 and 39, and the Athletics are 23 and 46. And honestly, even any kind of wild card team, even adding a third wild card team this year, the Astros are going to be the only team that comes out of that division. There's no way the Rangers at 32 and 35 are going to catch the Blue Jays, Red Sox, or Rays for a wild card spot, let alone the Twins
Or
or
Boston.
the Indians.
Or Boston.
Well, I had said them, so
Well, but barring L.A. or Texas having big second halves, I can agree with that statement.
and I just don't see that happening. I really don't. I mean, as good of a lineup as the Angels have, their pitching has been dreadful. And even over the last couple of weeks, their offense hasn't really been doing it. I mean, they had a 14-game losing streak.
Yeah,
and
at least they hit the skid early.
I don't know.
Fuck you with your sheesh.
I don't know about that.
All right, well, Cleveland's leading the Central at 35 and 28. Minnesota realistically is leading that division at 38 and 31. I'm sorry, they've played more games.
Yeah.
Chicago, as bad as they have been, 33 and 33, not bad.
With the injuries that they've sustained and as young as they are, to be 33 and 33, I think that
I as a fan, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And
33
honestly,
and 33, if you finish the year 500,
you're 81 and 81.
81 and 81. That's that's fine. That's not.
I mean
that's not
depending
that bad.
on how the Blue Jays, Red Sox, and Rays finish, that maybe kind of keeps shit in the hunt for the third wild card spot. But I think the third wild card spot is going to have to be at least an 85 win team, at least. So 81 and 81 might not even cut it.
I wasn't talking about them making the playoffs. I'm just talking about them finishing the year 500 with the lineup they have and everybody that they cleaned house. What, 2 years ago when they cleaned house? Goodbye, Bryant, Rizzo, Baez.
That was the Cubs.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The Cubs. If the Cubs can go 81 and 81.
I think we were just talking about the American League Central and the White Sox.
Oh shit! I apologize, Dan. I thought we were talking
Yeah.
about the Chicago Cubs. No, all right. Chicago Cubs are actually 25 and 43. So that is a fuck up on my end, terribly. All right, so Chicago, yeah, they got to play better because I believe I picked them to win the AL Central.
I had either them or the Twins winning that division. You know, I think it was a close race, but I think I had the Twins edging it out, but I don't know. I didn't expect the Guardians to be where they're at, 35 and 28.
It's still relatively early, but that's pretty good for them, honestly.
Yeah. Tigers are 26 and 42, and the Royals are 25 and 42. We know for sure, almost. I mean, even without any certainty, they're going to be at the bottom of that division by the end of the year.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
So now moving on to the Central in the National League with the Cubs.
Yeah, fuck you. All right, Dick? Go fuck yourself.
The Brewers and Cardinals are tied for first. They're both 39 and 31.
That's the division right there.
That's honestly,
that's
like
the
I said,
entire division right there.
That's what I had at the top. I had them two going neck and neck the whole way.
Yeah. Cincinnati, they're just, I for the life of me, I don't know what they're doing. They're just wasting Joey Votto.
Yeah, but even if you trade him there, you're not going to get shit for him.
No.
He's old. He's having a bad year. He's at the end of his career. He's done.
I understand that. I wouldn't say trade him. I'm just saying for all the years that they've had him, what have they done with him?
I think go back to like maybe 2010 or 2011 when they had where they had some guys, they made a run into the playoffs, but I mean, other than that, they've never really done anything by him, so for the most part, he's been wasted. Like, if anything, they should have shipped his ass out 4 or 5 years ago to get something in return. The Cubbies are 25 and 43, as you just said, and then the Pirates are in third. They're 28 and 39.
Hey, yo, you seen that fucking shortstop they got, bro?
O'Neal Cruz, yes.
Holy fuck, 6'7", 2.
Yeah, 6'7", like 2. Yeah.
Yeah, like 230 or something. I don't know, but he threw a 97-mile-an-hour fucking strike to the first baseman the other night.
Yep.
I think I remember a clip of him because they still had him in the minors. And it was like the first pitch, I feel like, the first at bat, and he just takes this ball and just fucking absolutely destroys it for like 450 in the minor leagues. Didn't even pissed off. He was pissed off that he threw the bat and was like, I don't even want to fucking be here, man. Look at what you got me doing right now.
He's like, I should have been on this. I should have been on the team from day one. And honestly, I kind of agree. I mean, he was tearing it up in the minor leagues, but and I get it. They wanted to give him a little more seasoning, but I mean, from where Pittsburgh is at.
Yeah, they need all the help they can get, and stop wasting the talent in the minor leagues.
Yeah, I agree, but you do have to have guys down there that they need seasoning. They need to,
He had enough seasoning. He had enough.
You could make the same fucking debate for Francisco Alvarez. I mean, this kid is fucking tearing it up in AAA. I'm talking tearing you've seen Angels in the outfield before, right? When he hits the home run, the ball is halfway torn apart. He's tearing the cover off the fucking ball. But,
it is what it is, baby.
Moving on to the East, the Mets are in first. They're 45 and 25. They're currently losing right now, 5-3 in the ninth.
Yeah, one out.
The Braves are in second. They're 39 and 30. They lost a wild one last night to the Giants. I didn't catch it, but
neither did I.
I heard that was a good game. They're 5.5 out. The Phillies are in third. They're 36 and 33. Marlins are 30 and 36. And the Nationals are in last. They're 25 and 46.
All right, so I'm not looking like a complete moron with the Philly pick.
Not looking good. I mean,
no, it's not looking good, but it's not looking that bad. If they were
first, you got to jump Atlanta. You're only like a game and a half.
They ain't jumping nothing but rope until next season.
And unless a major collapse or an injury or something, I don't see them overtaking the Mets. The Braves could definitely do it. It could happen.
Oh,
Philly,
they're a
no.
championship caliber team. They know what it takes to do that. They did it
Yeah.
once. They could do it again. I mean, they don't have the same lineup or the same team in retrospect, but
So
they can get it done.
Basically, the same team they had last year is the team they had this year. The only thing is that
Freddie
if
Freeman.
Acuna stays healthy for the whole year and doesn't tear an ACL again,
They don't have Freddie Freeman.
they're not missing a beat without him. Not saying he wouldn't help, but they're not really missing a beat without him.
All right, in the West, you're gonna have to do that because.
Well, in the
I forgot
West,
to
the
do it.
Dodgers are in first. They're 41-25. The Padres are tied for second. They're tied for first. They're 43-27. And the Giants are in third. They're 38-29. They're 3.5 out. The Diamondbacks 32-38, and the Rockies are in last. They're 30-38.
Good, just keep smiling, you prick.
Turn that frown upside down.
Dude, how could I turn the frown upside down? We are a garage sale for the entire Major League Baseball system.
You let Trevor Story go, and you didn't even get nothing in return for
Not
him.
a goddamn thing. And we let DJ LeMahieu walk. Didn't we let Nolan Arenado fucking walk too?
You traded him to the Cardinals, I think, and then you traded Chris Bryant to the...
No, we got Chris Bryant from Chicago.
That's right, okay, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see you guys unload him at the trade deadline.
Yeah, not even
I
that.
mean, what's the fucking point of keeping him going? I mean, do they really see themselves being kind of contenders next year and the year after that?
Yeah, but what pisses me off,
so.
look how long Charlie Blackmon's been there. So you're telling me you kept Charlie Blackmon as your face when you had Arenado, Story, LeMahieu, Desmond, all these guys.
You had that right fielder,
Tapia.
No, well, he was one of them. You had Brian McMahon or some shit.
Yeah,
like
Brian McMahon, yeah. So then what? We get rid of LeMahieu. We let him walk. No, I think we let him walk, if I'm not mistaken. But look at all these guys that we let go of more than we've gotten. I'm sorry, Charlie's great. I love him as a Rocky. I'd have waved goodbye to him 3 years ago to keep LeMahieu and Story.
I don't think trading Blackmon 3 or 4 years ago would have allowed you guys to keep them. You guys would have ultimately still either would have gotten rid of them, let them go, or you would have traded them and got whatever you got in return. But
yeah, but look at where all our stars have gone. All our stars have gone to competing World Series teams.
And you guys don't do right by them. You don't win when you have them, and then you don't get nothing in return.
No, we win when we have them, but the way we win is wild card. That's the max.
The last time y'all win the World Series was 2007. Y'all lost to the Red Sox, and y'all got swept in 4.
Look,
outside that, y'all
you don't got to bring up painful shit like that, okay?
Because outside of that, before or after, y'all haven't done anything. So y'all didn't do right by them when you had them, and then
Carlos Gonzalez, we didn't do right by him either. We kept him for a while.
You traded Tulo, but that was like after he had already been kind of injured. Then you shipped him off to Toronto, and he does diddly dick in Toronto.
So that was one smart move.
But what did you get in return for him, though?
Not a damn thing.
So
that's why I said we're a garage sale for the rest of the league.
Yeah, just like the A's.
Yeah, they're about to have a garage sale at the end of the season.
They already had it. There's like 1 or 2 guys left that they can get rid of at the trade deadline.
Trout or Ohtani?
No, with the Athletics. That's what I was talking about. The Athletics.
Okay. I think we were talking about the Oakland. I think we were talking about the Angels.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rephrase that because if I say A's, you're gonna probably think the Angels. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. No, that's my fault as well. I'm just a moron.
You know, but I don't know.
Well, Oakland, we seen that coming as soon as they had that fire sale. They got rid of fucking everybody.
Well, and here's a funny little thing. I read an article the other day where, I don't know how it works, but certain teams get or all teams get X amount of money that is supposed to help them go towards retaining players and bringing in new guys. So the A's were given the Athletics were given $20 million or whatever.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, we're gonna pocket this and still ship everybody out.
Oh shit.
So, and so it's crazy. Some of these teams are really a mess.
It's rough being a Colorado Rocky fan. That like you just mentioned that World Series loss. That was my first year becoming a Rockies fan.
Yeah.
That was my first ever year because I was a Yankee fan and Boston had beat them down 3-1. At that time, I said I think I pulled up their payroll or whatever, and I said, "Oh no, hell no! You don't lose a series up 3-1 with that payroll."
No.
Uh, Boop, cut it. I was like, "All right, who's Boston playing? Because I don't, fuck Boston. Oh, they're playing the Rockies. Well, I'm a Rocky fan now." And then watched them get ran out the building. I was like, "Well, they could go back. You know what I mean? I was young, a little naive. You know what I mean? Riding that wave of a new team. Our budget like this. You know what I mean? Just as small as I am. So it's really it's a give and
Yeah, at
take.
least y'all had a better budget than Oakland.
Yeah, but Oakland's budget is probably just the same as ours now or more.
Yeah, now maybe, but you go back fucking 20 years ago, they were working on a budget of like fucking 40, 50 million.
And their scouting system was unbelievable.
That's really what it comes down to.
100% it does. Now the Mets, I mean, they're getting. I think who went out today? Carrasco.
Carrasco, he's got a lower back stiffness or tightness or something.
All right, that's. I mean, that's a little bit of rest. You missed one start or two.
But McGill came back and he got hurt again, and now Carrasco's out.
It's all
I'm
right.
not getting
It's
worried
all right.
at all.
It's all right. You had
No,
Scherzer.
no. Yeah, and then he's gonna come back and he's fucking old as dirt.
Oh, stop, bro! He was putting his fist up your ass at the beginning of the season. The way he was performing, you don't lie.
He was pitching well.
Exactly. So, and did you see him the other day in his rehab start, sitting there like it's Game 7, prepping himself for the fucking start? Oh, it was unbelievable. It was awesome.
I didn't see
He's fucking
that.
sitting there. He's got his fucking. He's like, he's just talking to by himself, talking to him, getting himself ready for the rehab start. Like that's how focused he is. So I understand he's old.
He's like, I don't want to be a rumble pony. He said, he's like, I don't want to be a rumble pony. I want to be up with the big team.
Yeah, I want to play with the big boys. Please, let me play. Let me play. I think once he gets back, you give those guys give Carrasco 2. All right, look, you're going to miss a start or two. Let's.
More than a start or two.
If it's back stiffness, they gotta look. He may that's why I said he may miss 2 starts. That's 2 weeks to get yourself, get your back ready.
Dude, they barely have any depth right now. So it's like now that Carrasco's gonna be banged up for at least another week or two, maybe longer. It just now it's gonna kind of push the envelope. Do the Mets really make a big trade deadline?
Oh
move?
no, that's got to happen. We said that beforehand, even before all this happened.
But what you can't do is you can't give up the farm system for it.
Oh God,
I knew
as soon as we started going down that, I knew you were gonna slide. You can't get rid of Mauricio. You can't get rid of Alvarez.
Because I even read an article the other day where Alderson even said that even if moves are going to be made, they're not willing to give up the farm system midway through a season like this just to bring in a rental. So they're going to try to move around, try to see what they can do and
look. I'm down. I'm down.
DeGrom coming back.
Yeah, but
we'll see.
I'm down to move Mauricio because you have Lindor, and Lindor is going to be there for a good 6-7 years.
Yeah, but
all right, catchers like Alvarez are hard to come by. As you said, he's tearing the cover off the ball. He's doing a fantastic job. So when he actually does come up and he's going to be your starting catcher, right, for a while, which you plan to.
For the foreseeable future,
Lindor is on a 10-year contract, right? He's going to be your starter for another 4 or 5 years.
Oh, more than that. He's got a 10-year contract.
Yeah, but he's already 2 years into it. He's got 8 left. 4 or 5.
Yeah, so at least 4 or 5.
Exactly. So what's the point of holding on to Mauricio?
I mean, you could move him to a different position, but then again, from articles I read, the fact that they haven't tried him out at other positions,
that's
shows us as fans that they're not willing to move him to a different position to keep him around.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they feel like his strongest value is solely at shortstop.
Yeah, exactly. And that's doing him a disservice to move him to a different position.
It 50-50. You know, I see where the Mets come from, where they say that they don't do that because he holds most value as short, especially if they're going to ship him out in a package.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
You want it. Yeah, you want his primary position to be his strong suit. You don't want to move him to another position and then he looks like shit.
yeah,
You know, and that's why I said it's a disservice to him. So now his stock drops. Now it's harder to move him. Yes, he's a promising shortstop that's going to come up. But you have Lindor. Now, if you guys didn't have Lindor, then I'd say, all right, hands off. You can't have either of them. But you have Lindor. You shelled out the money for Lindor anyway. You might as well ship Mauricio to get something of value, even if it's a rental for 3 to 4 years. It's
well,
still
rentals aren't 3 to 4 years. A rental means he's done at the end of the year and then he's walking, and there's
all right,
no
like
guarantee.
Baez, like Baez.
So I wouldn't be opposed to moving Mauricio, but it can't be mid-season. You have to do it in the off season when everything is settled, everything is done. You know, and you'll get more for him, especially if you're going to give him up for a big time arm or a big time bat. You do that in the off season where the guy you're going to get still has 2 or 3 years left on his deal.
Yeah, but Danny, you might not be in that position come towards the trade deadline. The way that the pitching, look, if DeGrom takes his head out of his ass, and the Mets are finally like, yeah, you know, you could throw a pitch, go out there and have at it, and Scherzer comes back, okay, we can be patient. If DeGrom's not coming back and it's just Scherzer, right, and you have Mauricio and maybe a couple other guys in a package deal, you gotta get somebody in there that's gonna help the starting pitchers and maybe a possible bullpen guy as well. And
I agree,
if
but
it costs you Mauricio, then that's the cost you're gonna have to eat.
I'm not comfortable with that. Honestly, I'd rather see them wait till DeGrom and Scherzer come back, and I'd rather just see them ride it out. I'm not saying not make no moves, but I'm saying ride it out, and then trade Mauricio in the offseason to get more bang for your buck. That, so if in a sense doing that kind of hurts their chances at making it to the World Series, fine, because it's also gonna. I'm not a coach, but I'm now also thinking about the long term for this team, not just a 1 year wonder. You know, like you want to sustain this over the course of the next 10 years, whatever it is. However, you know.
Well, yeah, but you know me. Let's go for the gusto. Let's go for the gusto, baby.
We'll see.
We're already here. We're already here. We're already here. Like Danny McBride in the end. Look, I've gone too far already.
and the injuries are starting to creep up with McGill going back out and now Carrasco, and it's
yeah. And then now you guys just lost 2 in a row to the Houston Astros. Yeah, I mean, so look, I just love the way they're playing this year. That's why I said and my personality, you know, I love bunting. I love, you know, squeeze plays. You know, I love going for it. You know what I mean?
right.
And especially, this is baseball. You got 162 of these motherfuckers. It ain't football where you only got 16 of these bitches where it's, I can't take no chances. We got to win. You got 162. You can go out there and try some shit. But other than that, I still think Mauricio is on the docket, depending on what's going to happen.
Oh, he's definitely the first to go before Alvarez, definitely. And honestly, Alvarez isn't untouchable. If they don't bring him up this year, he's definitely on the roster opening day next year. That's almost you could almost fucking guarantee that and walk to the bank with that. Even with McCann still having 1 year left on his deal, you can't waste another year with this kid in the minor leagues. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where they are. What's today? The 22nd. We'll see where they are when the All-Star game rolls around in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Well,
so,
what's their schedule looking like for the next, let's say, month? I got you.
Wow. I'm looking at the wild card standings. I was actually trying to find them, but they're not in the wild card standings because they're in first place. On the White Sox are only 4 games out of the wild card, so they could definitely make a push.
All right, so you got the Marlins. You got the Marlins the next 3 games, and then you have the Astros the next 2 after that. Then you got the Rangers for 3, and then you got the Reds for 3. Then the Marlins again for 4. Then come July 10th, you're playing... No, July 11th, you're playing the Braves in a 3-game set. So, I see you guys still having a positive record.
No, yeah, but,
Especially if Scherzer comes back and he pitched the way he did before.
just as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah.
I get it. He's 37 years old, though,
Yeah, he's pushing the envelope. 100%. I agree with you. He's pushing the envelope, but he can still do his goddamn job. He's not like he sucks, Danny. He's pretty fucking good.
He does, but my only issue with it is that if he stays healthy, he's fine. If he's not healthy, what fucking good are you? $130 million to a 37-year-old pitcher.
Okay. All right. We're about to have a conversation right now. All right.
Oh, he's got to rub his head for this.
Yeah.
one.
I need some comfort again. I got to put down my hair. Are you really about to sit here and say what fucking good are you if you don't pitch and you got a cocksucker that hasn't pitched for 2 years? And
it's the same thing for him. What
bullshit! I said trade that motherfucker months ago, and you said no. We're here. Brings us to today, the 22nd of fucking June, and you go, if you stay healthy, you can stay. But if you're fucking hurt, what fucking good are you?
DeGrom's a Met for life. There's a difference between
bullshit.
DeGrom and there's a difference between
Bullshit. You know he's not gonna be a Met for life. That motherfucker is going somewhere, and it ain't gonna be in New York. 100%.
Well, if he doesn't really play this year, his value is gonna be Dick Diddley on the market. So, like we talked about a while back, if he does opt out, he's walking away from 60 some odd million over the next 2 years.
Yeah, and
he's not getting that on the market with his injuries over the last 2 years.
No, he's gonna get that 66. I'm telling you, you know how he's gonna get that 66? They're gonna ship his ass off somewhere where someone's like, "I'll take the 66." 100%. 100%.
If he takes away the no trade clause, because he's got a no trade clause in his contract. But we'll see how.
Oh wow! So he's an even bigger cocksucker. He's gonna try press y'all
for more money.
Yeah, he gonna motherfucker. And then you over here shitting on a 37-year-old that's just trying to get back to help his fucking team, who's not even getting paid a portion of whatever this fucking guy's getting paid.
Because DeGrom's been here from the get-go, so he, in my eyes, is the Met for life. DeGrom, you're the Scherzer, you're the new guy.
I say no. You fucked up. You said DeGrom's names first. That means that was true.
What?
You said DeGrom. Oh, I mean Scherzer. Yeah, you meant to say DeGrom.
Names,
bullshit. Nah.
You know
everybody, look at this. The truth comes out.
Even with
it comes.
Yeah, the truth comes out. The truth comes out in the light.
All right, I can one-up you right now. From the start to where we are right now, who's had the better career, Scherzer or DeGrom? I'll wait.
It's not by a big margin, but it's probably definitely Scherzer.
Okay, so can we cut the old man some slack here? Especially from that blasphemy you just said. You're no fucking good to me if you're hurt. Are you fucking kidding me? At least Scherzer's pitched this fucking year at 37 years old. I didn't even see DeGrom in the fucking parking lot.
He's coming.
I forget what he even fucking looks like. I haven't seen him in 2 years. I forget what the fuck he looks like.
All right. He's coming, though.
Yeah. When?
Soon.
I think I can see Jesus Christ before I'll see him again. All right, we're going to move on to Hate It or Love It. All right, Danny, hate it or love it. Andrew Wiggins wins an MVP before Ja Morant.
No, I hate that.
Oh, excuse fucking me.
Ja Morant is a young up-and-coming stud. Andrew Wiggins is like a 29, 30-year-old. Kind of has been.
I think he's 27.
He's resurrecting his career, you could say, with Golden State, but no. Even if he goes to a team where he has the ability to shine a little bit more and be one of the one or two guys that the team is going to rely on.
He's 27.
Even with that and Morant coming back, no. Mm-mm. No, no, no.
All right,
Not at all.
I'm in agreement with you, Danny. I'm not disagreeing with you. I like the way Wiggins has played this offseason. I mean, not this offseason, this playoffs. Hopefully that can translate over into next
The
season.
regular season, yeah.
And he sets the bar for himself. I just wanted to see what you would think.
I mean, if he did, I wouldn't care. But I mean, over Morant, no way. No way.
Well, all right. Well, there's no way Wiggins is gonna win it there as long as Curry's there. So I'm talking about after Curry, if Wiggins is there.
Yeah, but you got to figure by the time that happens, Wiggins is going to be 30, 31.
Yeah. God damn it.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
All right. Hate it or love it. Did LeBron going to Miami the way that he did hurt the NBA?
Repeat the question.
Hate it or love it. LeBron going to Miami the way that he did hurt the NBA.
I love it. Because it did.
I agree.
Because then it went to super teams.
Super teams, powerhouses, dream teams.
Now, granted, back in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s, yes, teams were built differently, and sometimes they did have 3 stars, but it was a different game back then.
Yeah.
So I would love it because it did change it. Yes, granted, they all took pay cuts to play together. But now that's pretty much essentially how the league works. It's
more fast-paced offense.
No. It used to be in the 2000s. It was your duo, Kobe, Shaq. You know what I mean?
Wade, Shaq.
Yeah, right.
Steve Nash, Stoudemire.
Yeah, now it's trios. So the league is more driven on who's your 3. Look at Boston: Tatum, Brown, and Smart. That's their 3.
Right. I think it's more 2 than 3. But all right.
No. Look, we're just saying for the sake of it. We're gonna get there. We're gonna be patient. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get into it. We got a lot to talk about that gentleman, and I think our viewers know who the fuck we're talking about. But yeah, so the Suns: Chris Paul, Booker, and Ayton. Curry, Draymond, and Clay. I mean, it's all 3s now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would love that. What is your take on it? Do you agree?
I do. It just everything's a fucking spectacle now.
It's a fucking cartoon, right?
It is. It's like, are we here to fucking like play or what? What are we doing here? What's going on?
Play? Yeah, maybe they're here to fucking play. We don't know. All right, Danny, hate it or love it. Kyrie back with LeBron in LA.
Damn.
That's a thinker.
I hate it.
Oh, what?
I do.
Damn, why? You want to rebuild? That's why. Okay.
It's not even that I want to rebuild, but it's like, and it's nothing against Kyrie, but it just be done with what fucking bullshit experiment you tried and move on. Don't try to put a band-aid over a fucking gushing bullet hole. No. Finish off whatever fucking bullshit experiment you started and then move on. That's it.
I love it.
I know you do.
I love it. You know why I love it?
Why?
Because you're gonna get rid of Russ, right?
I'd rather have Russ than Kyrie, honestly, even if it's another fucked up year.
But look, you're gonna get rid of Russ in that contract, right? Okay. Then you're gonna trade AD. Okay. You're gonna still get. There's still some value to him because he's on the younger end, right? And there's still some value to him. So you're gonna trade him away, and then you're gonna make your free agencies, pickups. And I think if you guys go out there and get a big man like DeAndre Ayton, in a trade for Anthony Davis. Then you get DeAndre Ayton, LeBron, and Kyrie.
You really think the Suns are gonna give you DeAndre Ayton for fucking
Anthony Davis?
For a
Yeah.
broken down Anthony Davis that hasn't been proven to be healthy in the last 2 years?
Who hasn't shot a ball since
exactly,
April 5th?
exactly. So is his mind really on basketball? Or is he soaking up the sun in California? His brain's been fried from all the fucking sun.
I'm just saying. I'm just shooting it out there.
I'll soak up the sun. Like, come on, dude.
I wanna tell everyone you like it too.
All right, he knows the lyrics to that.
I'm just saying for the sake of it. They already know how to play with each other. Kyrie is definitely on. All right, Kyrie's definitely better than Westbrook at this point. If but we got to analyze last year to this year.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, if you put Westbrook on it, if I get it, if the year is starting right now and Westbrook's on another team where it's just really him and like one other guy or whatever, and he reverts back to his triple doubles, there's no way Kyrie's better. Honestly, like looking at last year,
stats wise, yes. Stats wise, yes. I understand that wise. But Kyrie has the ability to drop 30, 40. You know what I mean? And have 10 assists and 4 or 5 rebounds and 2 steals, right? Where Russ is going to put up the 16, 12 and 12. You know what I mean?
You don't think Westbrook is a scorer like he used to be?
Bro, all right. I love Westbrook. At a time, I was calling him the best player in the NBA, just because what he was doing statistics wise,
right.
from his position as a point guard. He's refused to get better at shooting. It doesn't work on his 3-point. He's at mid range. At this point in his career, you could drive like a motherfucker. That's about it. And when you're on, you're on. But now, granted, I don't think he was used correctly in LA, or just the coaching staff didn't. I don't know. That's why he's not there no more. That's why Frank Vogel's on his ass. And like you said, whatever experiment you got going, cut ties with it all and move the fuck on. So I guess I understand why you're saying you hate it, because you don't want to bring in Kyrie and then you got to pay him the hundred some odd million he wants, or whatever. All right, it's up to you, lots.
All right, hate it or love it. Now for all sports, NFL, NBA, basketball, should the drafts be televised? Like, is that, you hate that they are televised, or do you?
I'm in that gray area that we talk about that shouldn't exist, but I'm in that gray area right now. I hate it because I like this sense of the draft being private, it going down, and then reading it in the paper the next day or online. It brings like a sense of like mystique and surprise to it.
I mean,
like, they fucking took that guy. I didn't even fucking expect that. But if, when you have the whole pregame and the weeks leading up to it, and then you have the whole event for the draft, it kind of takes away from its, I guess, mystique or mystery that you would say about it, and surprise. I mean, we were surprised sitting on the couch that day, you know, to a degree, but it'd be even more, I think, impactful if you were to hear it on the radio the next day or read it in the paper next day or online. You'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Imagine reading the next day that Philly had traded A.J. Brown. Right? You'd have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
In that moment, it was a surprise, and then you moved on to the next pick.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Because not for nothing, it's like, and this is why I hate it. Mostly is because outside of maybe like I get it, like how we do this on the show where we say, oh, they should take this guy, and other shows talking about it. It's like, you as a fan of the Cowboys, And I don't know about you, but me as a fan of the Vikings, do I really fucking give a shit who the other teams in the league take? Does it really fucking make a difference at the end of the day? Oh my God, they took that guy.
Yeah,
You're
but
not a fucking fan
it
of
does
that
it
team.
does
What does it matter?
it does when you see a player coming up that you want, right?
But you don't have him, so what's the fuck like?
Well, you may still like him as a player. You may want to follow him wherever he goes.
Or you can Google what that you can Google that guy the next day, or
All
look it up
right.
in the
Look,
paper and
look,
find
look.
out where he went.
Put your fucking gun down, all right, and let's have a gentleman's conversation. You said, "Well, you can fucking Google it, dick." All right. All I said was I hate it. Like, I'm in that gray area. I hate it because I would like the nostalgia of what it originally was and the surprise element to it. But I don't have a problem with it being televised. I just think they need to stop all the shenanigans and get to the fucking point of why we're there. Don't say the
Yeah.
draft starts at 8 o'clock and then the first pick don't kick off until fucking 9.
Right. Yeah.
Like the NBA Finals. Oh, the game starts at 9 o'clock. I turn the radio on. I'm sitting there until 9:20.
Waiting for
Say
tip-off.
9 fucking 20.
Like when
It's
you go to
tip.
the doctor, I'm here for a 10:40 appointment.
Oh, God.
I shouldn't be sitting here for an hour.
At that logic, you should have made it 10, 11:30.
Yeah.
That drives me up a fucking wall about doctors.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to get off point for a minute, but it's like, yeah, your appointment's at 9:45. You show up at 9:30, you don't get seen until 10:45. Whoa, buddy. Let's pump the brakes. I know he's working, but I gotta fucking work too. There's no way I'm fucking coming here. By that logic, I'm gonna just show up late. Fuck it. If you're late, I might as well be late too. Shit,
Right.
I may be lucky, be late, and get right in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Pulowski. Oh, why are you late, motherfucker? The last 4 times I was here, you was late. I didn't bust your balls.
Yeah. No, definitely.
All right, Danny, hate it or love it. Baker finally gets traded.
I love it. Just shoot yourselves in the foot again, Cleveland. You guaranteed this guy money. Granted, you might get off the hook for some of it or whatever, but this guy's about to not play for a year.
Could be
So
more.
now you're out of draft picks.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do? Trade Baker to recoup some of it? You're not gonna. You'll be lucky if you can get half back what you gave up for.
No,
for Deshaun.
yeah, they'll be lucky at that. They're willing to pay Baker's half of his salary to get rid of him. So they'll take half of his off the book, so they'll have that. Now, if Deshaun gets suspended for a year plus, they retain that money, but they don't retain those draft picks. So they're fucked on that end.
Yep. And then if you trade Baker, it's like who's going to be your quarterback this year? Jacoby Brissett.
Hey, Jacoby's a pretty good fucking quarterback. He could be a starter on another team.
But you could almost in a sense, Cleveland is expected to compete for that division. You're not doing it with Jacoby Brissett. I'm sorry.
Mark,
Even if you win that division, you're not advancing. Come on.
All right. Don't disrespect Jacoby though, man.
Well, I'm gonna
Jacoby's
until we see what happens.
Wow, what an asshole.
Yeah.
What an this motherfucker came with a fully loaded soda today and it's just all right, Danny, lining up and kicking him down.
You like it?
I love it. I hope he go. I don't want to see him go to Carolina. The reason why I don't want to see him go to Carolina is it'd be stupid on Carolina's part. You just paid fucking Sam Darnold. All right, that's a shot in the foot. You're going to have to eat that.
You're most likely going to be trading or dumping McCaffrey in the next year or so if he can't stay healthy.
Exactly. So
what do you have?
Why invest that when you already drafted that guy? What's his name? Mark something or Matt something.
Matt Corral.
Matt Corral, which I think he could be the future.
Could
So
be.
why hinder his success with 2 guys that are gonna come in and are getting paid?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd rather see him go to Seattle. I'm sorry. I'd
really like to see him in New Orleans, but that's not happening.
Nah, Jameson looked pretty good last year, and I think they're gonna roll with Jameson, and I think they're gonna lean on the draft to years to come for their next quarterback. I don't think they're gonna unless they see another Drew Brees out there. I don't think that's happening. So
Yeah, right.
I think the smartest place is Seattle for him. And he could look, we already talked about it. The Rams are gonna implode on themselves in the next 2 to 3 years.
It's what we're expecting to happen, but who
yes,
knows? Maybe they don't.
maybe they don't. Like we
Maybe
said,
maybe they know how to write the ship properly.
yes, and give the blueprint for teams further on how to spend the dough and recuperate and get right back to it.
Yep.
But barring that, an somewhat of a lack of competitiveness in the Rams after 2 years, right? Arizona, God knows what the fuck's gonna go on with fucking Kyler Murray.
They're gonna give him his money. I just feel like they will.
All right, so then they're not competitive because they ain't got no money to spend to fucking be competitive. So they roll them. San Fran's always a tough team, especially their coaching staff and their GM. They know what the fuck they're doing. So, barring in 2 years, Baker could be leading that team to win that division and go somewhere in the playoffs and actually perform better than he did in Cleveland. Because Seattle, in with all due respects to Seattle and Pete, they know what they're doing. They went to a Super Bowl. They consistently went to the playoffs.
And Pete Carroll's defense is, for the most part, always pretty good.
Yeah, and he's rebuilding it with his draft picks and the way they did, this year. So, and Bake's got a good five years in him.
Yeah, at least.
I don't see why not. I think that's the best place for him.
Yeah. No, as far as the teams that are available to acquire him, yeah, definitely.
I think that's the best place for him. And I think with Pete, and maybe Pete may not be there, but I hope that doesn't happen to Baker, because then that's just like unfortunate as a motherfucker. Like, damn, you get drafted to Cleveland, you have Hugh Jackman, they fire Hugh Jackman, they bring this guy Kitchen in, then Kitchen fucking gets the other year, then they bring in Deshaun, and you go to fucking Seattle, then you have Pete, then they fire Pete the next year, then you got a whole new guy.
Or he retires or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, can I just get somebody who can stick with me, please? Like, do I smell like shit or something? Like,
what's wrong with me?
I'm not a bad guy. Like, what did I do? I just want to... Kevin Hart, help me. Help me.
Help me, help you.
You, exactly. All right, what you hated? I love it.
All right. Hated or love it. Should there be guidelines to determine how much a player makes for any sport? And to break it down in a sense to understand it, it's like, all right. So, as a quarterback, hypothetically, you consistently throw for, 3,000 plus yardage every year. You're in like the 3,500 range every year.
Okay.
So, a guideline would be like, all right, well, if you're in this bracket, you get this much. Okay, if you throw more than this, if you throw between this and this amount of touchdowns and so on and so forth, you get this much. Yeah. So, okay, you threw for 3,500 yards, you threw 22 touchdowns, 17 picks. Look at the guideline, look at the sheets, break it down, look at age, look at the overall team, the projection of the team, and then be like, you know what?
Yeah, but then you got to add in the fact of playoff wins.
No, but I'm saying you'll look into other factors and look at and everything, but based off of how you perform on a regular season-to-season basis, especially if you're not a player that was on a team that went to the playoffs, the guidelines would be there to be like, all right, well, okay, that
all right,
makes
yeah,
sense.
then you deserve X amount of dollars.
Exactly, not these fucking astronomical contracts that these players are getting.
Yeah, but the thing that does this is because the cap has it like, all right, so each team has a different cap that we know, right? Everybody has a different cap number.
Yeah.
Right? Just basing on their spending. So when a player like Deshaun Watson gets traded and then signs a $230 million guaranteed contract, you set the market on fire. So now guys that are not even, it's hard to say this to compare it to be like, oh, well, have you done what Deshaun Watson has done? Which for the record is not much, like we said. So it's any other asshole out there could be like, well, I want that too.
Well, if Aaron said, I want 230 guaranteed, fine, whatever. Granted, he's older, but you've proven enough year
I know
in
what
and
I'm
year
going to
out.
get from him each
Exactly.
year. I'm going to the NFC Championship goddamn almost every year.
Just
And a shot to win a Super Bowl almost every year.
Yep.
So that's understandable. Russ, yeah. Tom, yeah. Who else?
Even if Stafford wanted the new contract, he's like, yo, I maybe not the 230, but he's like, yo,
Oh
I
no, he
want.
deserves a new contract now too. He deserves to
Yeah.
get paid more now too. Hey man, I did my job. Now it's time to open up the wallet.
What if he comes out and he's like, oh, I want a 5 year deal for $170?
All right, relax, Matt.
I'm
Yeah,
just.
yeah,
That's
but
not. That's
I'm
not as much as the 230 for Russ or Aaron
I
because
know.
he's not at their pedigree. So you got to lower that number down a
Yeah,
little
but
bit.
what I was saying is in terms of if you were Matt and I'm the GM, all right, let's take our dick off the table. It's a big dick. All right. Thank you for the Super Bowl title. There is no way you're getting 5 for even close to the fucking. Did I give you 3 for a cool buck?
Well, what if I want? All right, you know what? Fine. I'm Matt, but I definitely want the 5 regardless because I want to play for the next 5 years. 5 for 130.
No, can't do
No.
it, my guy. Can't do it with your age. This was 5 years ago. I got you from Detroit. Oh, we could talk turkey. I can't do that now. I can't dude. Look how much bread I just blew on Cooper Cup and fucking Aaron Donald.
That's not my problem. Without having a quarterback last year, you don't win. And you know what? Fine. If that's how you feel, then I'm gonna have to go into free agency.
All right, Matt. I'm gonna put on the last play of the Super Bowl for you. Okay. All right. You see Aaron Donald there, right? Oh, he sacked him. Game over.
Yeah.
You win a Super Bowl. Now I remove Aaron Donald from that play. Jamar Chase is screaming down the sideline because Jalen Ramsey tripped. They scored a touchdown. You lose the Super Bowl.
Well, you're not. Granted, you could say that, but it's like you're not there without Aaron, but you're not there without Matt. So
That's bullshit, sir. I had Jared Goff.
And yeah, 1 year, and then we seen how that ship just sank right after that.
Okay, but like everything that you're saying on behalf of Matt, I've just matched everything, pretty much.
Granted, but I still say it's a fair argument. For
Look,
Matt.
I'll pay you, but I ain't paying you. No, no, you're out of your mind. 130 for 5? Fuck you. I give you 3 for a cool buck. 89 million guaranteed. The 11 is incentives and whatnot. That's fair. You want a Super Bowl? I'll give you 3 for 100. You walking away with 89 million in your pocket. Bow. With a chance to win another Super Bowl. And then you can ride off in the sunset.
I mean, it doesn't sound like a bad deal, but I don't know.
Some of these older players, to be honest, though, they usually take deals like that because they know they're not gonna be here a long time, and they're not. I'm not trying to they're at this stage in their career where they're like, I'm not busting balls for bread like that. I'm gonna get my worth, absolutely, but I still want to play, and then I wanna leave on a good note. I'm not trying to be out here playing for fucking. I'm trying to think of the worst team in the league. But they won't be the worst team in the league this year.
Jacksonville.
No, Jacksonville's not going to be there this year. I like Houston.
Okay,
I'm not shipping your ass off to Houston, dude. You know, so you can get that extra $30 million. Why? So you can get fucking absolutely obliterated for 3 seasons?
And probably not even finish that contract.
And then not even make it to the playoffs or get anything out of it? That's what I'm saying. The organization at that point would have leverage over Matt. It's like, Matt, I could ship your ass off to fucking shish bamboo and you ain't gonna be happy. You're gonna get your bread, but I could do this for you and you still have a shot to add to your legacy.
No, I feel you. Yeah, definitely. You know,
I think if he was younger, like I said, if it was 5 years ago and they had traded for him, and then the first year he wins that Super Bowl, like I said, then we could talk turkey.
Right.
Because there's a lot more before we're going off this, that high point of your career.
Because he's 34, going on 35 at some point next season.
Exactly. And he's been playing for a long time. What, 13, 14 years already?
Something like that.
That's a significant time in a physical sport like that.
Yeah. He was drafted in 2009, so figure
13 years.
Yeah.
Excuse me. All right. So I added this Hate It or Love It in because I figured it'd be funny.
All right.
If you were like, yeah, Baker to the Carolina Panthers. Now, Robbie Anderson says if they trade for Baker Mayfield, he's going to retire. So hate it or love it, Robbie Anderson retires if they trade for Baker Mayfield.
I hate it.
Ah.
No, not because I want him to stay there, but it's like, yo, bro, instead of retiring, how about you just ask for a trade? Like, or like I'm not gonna get into it now because I thought about it today, and it's gonna be a hate it or love it for next week. But like, just ask for a trade, man. Like, like just
Yeah, but I don't think he has enough stock to be talking about, oh, trade me.
well, you can be like, all right, I see the direction this organization is going. I would like to be traded. I don't care where you send me. Just trade me to a different team. I don't want to play here anymore. Because they're they're not in a win now position anyway. I mean, even if they did bring in Baker, it's still not going to put him over the top. Not in that division. Not right
Yeah,
now.
but yes, but in retrospect, Tom's gone. We don't know how, in theory, how competitive Jameis is going to be. Atlanta already pushed the reset button.
I think it'll be the Saints division to lose after Sir Tom Dick.
Yeah, but exactly. So it's the Saints division to lose, and new coaching staff, barring how Jameis plays, Carolina can still walk away with that division too. So it is wide open for them in such a sense.
Kinda.
If you're a Carolina Panther fan who's in the organization or just in general as a fan, you're looking at it like, if we could just get right in the next 2 years, we got a shot to take this division damn near almost every year or compete for it.
Right.
For me, I tell Robbie, trade me. No, I'll just cut you. Fuck you.
Fine, then cut me and I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, goodbye.
No problem. But to be like, oh, I'm gonna retire, bro, you're gonna walk away from
money.
Money, and
money.
You can still
like
play
Baker
another
Mayfield.
3 or 4 years wherever you go, or if you're in Carolina. So why walk away from that?
He's never really even fucking explained why he dislikes Baker.
Does he need to? Does he really need to get on NFL Network and be like, I don't like that? Like, does he really have to?
No.
He has a preference.
I'm saying
it's like,
inside.
why open a can of worms? Just like, oh, all right, you're not happy. Fine.
I'm not saying disclose it to the media. I'm saying to the organization, disclose it to them. Well, why don't you want to play with Baker? Oh, such and such and such. Okay, that's respectable, but in all due respect, who gives a fuck what you think? You're here to play football.
No,
You're not here to.
I get that, but I'm saving myself from getting into this because it's going to be a part of my hate it or love it for next week.
All right.
So,
all right, you're on the docket.
Hate it or love it. Should rookie contracts be a set limit based off of what round you go in? So
they already are.
No, I'm saying, is it
for the NFL? Yes.
Because I was gonna say all first rounders get this set amount, regardless whether you're first or 31st.
It goes by your position and then your pick, I believe.
I thought it was kind of more based off of like, each team's salaries and what they have to spend on draft picks and shit.
I gotta look into it more, but I do know it is literally by pick and round your max contract for your rookie year, and then I think it depends on position as well where you land. Because each position is based off of some other value.
Right.
Quarterbacks get paid more than everybody. That's a fucking parent. Deshaun
Offensive
Watson.
linemen get paid a good amount.
D linemen not as much. Wide receivers, you know what I mean? It's.
No, I feel you. All right. Well.
I don't know about other sports though, but if it's not like that, then yeah, there should be a cap on everything.
Because then if you have a cap like that with a rookie player on a 3 or 4 year rookie contract, if you had set guidelines for how much players get, all right, let's look at your rookie contract. You did this, and this over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. Look at the guidelines, add everything up. That's our offer. You don't like it? Take a walk, hot shot.
Well, usually every rookie signs that deal. We know that. Every rookie signs that fucking deal because they're basically that rookie contract is is protection for essentially the team.
Right.
Because if you're a bust, I'm not destroying my wallet.
Yeah.
To
Absolutely.
them, it's a gamble on them. It's like, all right, I'm getting kind of good money, but if I could perform, oh boy, that contract coming up next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like it. I feel like there should be more set guidelines and stuff to determine how much these players get. Look, granted, and it's nice to have to be a fan of a team that has an owner that can spend money now, but at the same time, it's also Aaron Judge, obviously the greatest ball player in baseball right now this year. He's gonna warrant a big time contract.
No,
He's gonna want more than 300 million, more than 400 million.
but
Look,
he wants it over like 8 years, seven,
no,
8 years.
and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you don't deserve a pay grade. I'm not saying you don't deserve money. But bro, you're a fucking baseball player that hits home runs. Granted, not everybody can hit 50 home runs a year. Okay, but to make over $400 million, you're out of your fucking mind.
Oh, we went through that with the Bryce Harper. Nobody in their right mind playing a child sport, right, even at the most extreme level, a game, should be making $400 million.
Exactly.
Sorry,
Yeah.
there's no way. Now, if this was football, maybe I could argue it, or we could argue it for the physicality. But I still believe nobody deserves 400 million. There's no way.
I mean, unless you're a doctor that performs heart surgery or
Saving lives, actually.
yeah,
You know
or
what I mean?
I mean, a firefighter shouldn't even make 400 million, but like, you know, fucking, they should get paid more.
I be fighting every fire in a motherfucker. I go to people's house. I put this out, motherfucker. 400 million. I walk up and down the block everywhere. You got fire? You got
I'll drive
fire?
the truck myself, get out and do everything myself.
Fuck the truck. I'll run. Whatever you
yeah,
need.
You're gonna run with all that water in the hoses.
Oh no,
yeah.
fuck that. Turn your sink on. We'll work inside. We'll work inside,
My
baby.
kitchen's on fire though, because it was my stove. Well,
Well, get the fuck out of there.
that's funny.
We talked about it, and the way that I was brought up, and the way my dad always explained it to me, and it hasn't been disproven yet, 100%. And the only way, and what I mean by hasn't been disproven is every player, to a certain degree, right, of talent, plays. When you're under contract, you're hurt. Yes, you want to play, but you're in no rush to get back because you're sitting on money. Now, in a contract year, what are you going to do? You're going to overperform to push your number up.
Yep.
So I've seen that since I was able to comprehend, how contract works and everything like that, the way my dad explained it to me. So for me, it's if I'm Brian Cashman, where the fuck was this the last 3 years, dog? Now all of a sudden it's so I'm gonna go for 60-something home runs. You gonna pay me $350 million for 7 years? I don't fucking think so.
It's like why can't you, like you said, why can't you play like this year in and year? Granted, every year is different.
Yes.
But it's like if you're supposed to be this great of a player, you should consistently be getting this close or playing this kind of good at this bar every year.
280, averaging 280. I'll give
40
you
home runs.
I'll give you 270
and 100 RBIs.
35 home runs plus and 100 plus RBIs, and I'm gonna be a dick. 15 steals. I need those 15. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I don't pay. Granted, but I'm not paying you to be a base stealer. I'm paying you to drive the guy in that stole the base.
Well, motherfucker, if you can't do that, you better giddy up.
Well, we'll see in a couple of days if the Yankees give him that $21 million in arbitration. Because I doubt, even if they give him the 21, he's not signing. I don't think he's going to be signing a new contract this year.
No,
I think he's definitely going to be a free agent.
Look, if he was at 13 home runs, he may sign that arbitration. Him being at 25 home runs and on the pace that he's at, like all right, I'll just paint the picture for you. Spanish class, sophomore year, walk in late. Teacher puts a detention slip on the table. I took the paper and I slid it right back at her. I ain't signing that shit. Fuck you. Not doing it.
Yeah.
So he's definitely going to push that paper back. Yeah, no. We could talk at the end of the year, baby. Which,
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give you my hate it or love it, then I'm gonna give you my hot take.
All right.
Hate it or love it, Mets beat the Yankees in the World Series.
I love it. Because, and it was funny because I was listening to the fan before, and there were a couple of callers that even called in and they were talking about it. They were like, yes, it would be sweet to see the Yankees, to see the Mets beat the Yankees in a World Series, but the euphoric feeling that a Met fan is going to get from seeing the team win a World Series for the first time in over almost 30 years, or 86, 96, 06,
So much in a sense, it's like it
almost
doesn't matter who
over
you
30
play.
years. No, but it would be a little bit sweeter. It's like, like beating your older brother in a game of Madden, or like, you play touch football in a field down the park with your friends and your brother, and you score the game-winning touchdown on your older brother. Like, it would be that, but
So it would add to it, but it would add to the feeling of the accomplishment, but it wouldn't be blown out of proportion. What
no,
you're saying is,
yeah, I don't
it
know.
would just be an added "fuck you."
It'd be the cherry on top, literally.
Okay, all right. I'm not upset with that. I'm a plant your flag guy. So at that moment, I win that World Series over the Yankees. I'm planting my flag. I would literally that last game, whatever, Game 7 in the Bronx, right? And you beat them. After you beat them, I'd walk up to the fucking home plate and fucking and be like, "This is
Fuck home
mine."
plate. If I have that mentality, I'm walking up into Monuments Park and right there in Monuments Park.
Oh,
Fuck home plate.
oh my God! See now, holy shit! Oh my God! And now Yankee fans are classless, so you know you're gonna get jumped.
I don't give a fuck.
You know you get jumped. It's gonna be malice in the fucking Bronx. All you're gonna see is Sports Center is fucking whatever player you would imagine to be, or you yourself, just walk into Monumental Park with a Met flag and just, this is my house now. Oh no, this is my house now, Kimusabi. All right, so my hot take here. Shohei Ohtani finishes with more home runs than Aaron Judge this year.
Not looking like it.
There's 100 games left. He's only down 12 home runs.
I know, but
He put 2 on the board last night. Judge wasn't even playing.
No.
The motherfucker got counted for 7 runs by himself. He had 8 runs by himself. I'm sorry.
6. 2 3-run home runs.
Yeah, and then a RBI fucking a RBI pop out, and then I think a single to score somebody.
Mm.
Yeah, so he had 8 runs by his goddamn self. Now, granted, they lost, but I haven't seen Judge do that yet.
Yeah, how do you lose when you got a player putting up 7, 8, driving in 7 or 8 runs?
8 runs by himself.
That's like losing a game where Kobe puts up 70 or fucking Wilt puts up 100 and still losing.
Well, the best part about it last night when he hit that home run that tied the game, fucking after he he points to the bullpen, the announcer goes, "Oh yeah, he's pitching tomorrow too."
All right, my last hit of the lever. Get rid of the All-Star games for the NFL, NBA, and it's all the major sports.
Fuck. All right, don't get rid of him. I hate it. Don't get rid of him. Move him to the end of the year. No more mid-season shit. If you want to give him a break, give him the break. Don't put them out there like it's an extra spectacle. Put it for the end of the year. At the end of the year, you'll have guys that are healthy that'll be able to be voted as all-stars and actually compete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The mid-season, it's a fucking, like we just said before, it's a fucking cartoon. It's a spectacle. I really could give a shit who's going to win the three-point contest. I can give a shit who's going to win West versus East or AL versus NL.
Right.
I could give a shit less. At the end of the season, when I know football's not going to be there for much longer, I'll fucking watch that Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's a blowout or not, I'll watch that fucking Pro Bowl.
Right. See, me, I agree with you only in the sense that I hate it too, but I have a different reason why I hate it. Whether you move it to the end of the year or you keep it mid-season, you run the risk of guys getting hurt. Now you have now you have a top guy from your team going to the All Star game, and even if he's not playing at 100%, you could slip falling down the stairs, walking back into the dugout, just like any other time of
Yeah.
the year. But now because it's the All Star game and you want to get all the best players in America together,
Well, I know for baseball, some of the
like what the
players.
fuck?
Remember, usually that first roster of everybody getting voted in for the All Star game, right? Basketball, I haven't seen it. For MLB, I've seen it. I've seen players opt out, like I don't want to play in the game.
Yeah, but still, then you still have all the ones that are gonna. So it's still the same thing. Like it's an injury thing. Like
Well, yeah, but see, now I would
and,
have,
and
I would
granted, you
have.
get hurt regardless, but you're getting injured playing a game that means shit.
Okay, but like you know how the player could decide if they want to play or not. I would have it in my contract with my players. If you get voted to an All Star game and you decide to play and you get hurt, you don't get your second half.
Well, I would agree with that, but it's like
Or you don't. All right, you don't get your second. You don't get 30% of your contract. I keep that because
or
that's
whatever it is based off of how long you were hurt for.
yeah. Or if you decide to go play in the World Baseball Classic, you get hurt there, Doug. That's not my fucking problem. You could have
Yeah.
said no.
Yeah.
You could have let a college kid do it. Could have let somebody who needed a shot do it. Why do you need to do it?
Right.
Why?
No, I agree with that too.
Like most basketball players, when they go play in the Olympics, they win that gold. They never play again. They let the next class of guys do it. They literally they'll play twice in the 8 years, and then they'll get their golds, and then they walk away from it. They focus on, what they have to do in their career.
Right.
You know what I mean? I 100% agree with you. But like I said, to the fact, move them to the end of the year. So then it avoids that whole injury bug shit. Right?
Yeah.
And then you can focus on rest. So don't call, all right, so call it the All-Star weekend, right? Or the All-Star week, where you vote the All-Stars in, blah, 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 blah. Or do what the NBA did, where you have two team captains and they draft players from their fucking respected divisions. I think that would be cool for baseball. Right?
I mean, yeah,
So
that could work.
this is their draft for the end of the year All-Star game, right? But the players actually get a week off from playing almost damn near 100 games straight every day. With
Right.
a day off here and there. Give them a week off. Everybody now that's a break for everybody. You have the All-Star spectacle bullshit, but the players get a rest, and then you continue baseball. End of the season, if you're in the playoffs, you obviously your second, the second person in your position that got voted plays in your on behalf.
Right. Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
I mean, remember how we said we were saying like move the playoff to the bubble. Move playoffs to the bubble. It makes it easier on players. You're not gonna.
I mean, you can do that for every sport except for football.
Yeah, but me and you are different. Just on the way we think is because a lot of diehard fans, either for baseball, basketball, or football, would be like, "No, I want it. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it." Like, we don't have that drive to it. I mean, if I catch it, I catch it.
Yeah.
If I don't,
I mean, if it's the team that we root for, then yeah, we're watching every game.
yeah. But an All-Star game, I'm sorry. The
last time I went, the last time I watched an All-Star game was when I was like fucking 10.
If I'm gonna watch one All-Star game, it's gonna be the or the Pro Bowl. It's gonna be the Sean Taylor Pro Bowl where he lights up the punter. At least one guy's playing like it means something. You know what I mean?
Right.
We playing football. We ain't out here. Oh, we all getting paid. No, fuck that. I'm lighting you up, bro. This is football. This is baseball. Oh, it's just an exhibition. To you, it is. Not to me.
Yeah.
When my foot touches wherever I'm playing, it's game time.
Mm.
That's the difference between legends and regular players. Oh, it's an exhibition. Sorry, Mike steps on that court.
It's game
time.
on.
Kobe Bryant, it's game time.
Right.
Durant or LeBron in such a sense.
Lawrence Taylor.
Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. This is go time. This ain't you want to do that shit, do it somewhere else, not here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the NBA Finals.
Oh boy.
Game 6 in Boston. All right. Boston had 38 points in the paint. Golden State had 32. Golden State had 13 fast break points. Boston had 12. Golden State had 21 bench points. Boston had 5.
I mean, aside from the bench points and the points in the paint, when you look at the other stats like steals and assists and shooting percentages, for the most part, it looked very even. It looked very,
Besides
very
besides the turnovers.
that too. Yeah, 7 turnovers.
Oh no, 7 turnover difference, but Boston had
Oh
22 turnovers.
yeah. That's what I'm. Yeah.
Right, and only scored 20 points off of Golden State's turnovers. Golden State had 15 turnovers and scored 27 off of Boston's 22. But to your point, yes, everything was predominantly even throughout it. But there's one thing that's unaccounted for,
Oh yeah.
and that's Jason Tatum.
You know it.
So we're just gonna keep it real. From the Heat into the finals, Tatum played like dog shit.
100%.
Despite his averages, him being, the 22, the 7 and 7. Okay, that looks good. But if you actually watched, you would see what the fuck we seen. And just to shouting it out there, he's the first player in the playoffs to have over 100 turnovers. Boston had damn near almost 400 turnovers. He had 100 himself.
And you call him not you, but like other people and the general manager of the team and the other sports announcers for ESPN or whatever throughout the world, y'all are calling him a star. Y'all are out of your fucking mind.
That means all right, so their turnovers in the playoffs. Every 4 turnovers, Jason Tatum had 1 turnover. 1.
Dude, he had 13 points in a Game 6 elimination game. That's pathetic.
Now, so
stars don't play like that in an elimination game or a playoff game in general.
look, with those turnovers, I still can't find him after the second half. I don't know where he goes. I don't see him because he ain't there. He there for like 5 seconds with 2 points because he only scored 11 in the first half and then 2 in the second. In an elimination game?
It's like, I'm sorry, if I'm the Boston front office, I'm kicking myself in the ass for the contract that we gave him.
Yeah, I mean, for God's sakes, can you at least help Brown out?
I mean, yes,
Brown
he's still
wilding.
young enough where he can turn it around, but like, yo.
Yes, he's young enough. He could turn it around. But 13 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, 5 turnovers. What have we been saying the whole turnovers? It has to be under 4. 5 is way too much.
Yeah.
Horford, 19 points. You let an old man outscore you. 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 3 turnovers.
Seriously.
Robert
man.
Williams III, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 blocks, 2 turnovers. The actual superstar of the Boston fucking Celtics, Jaylen Brown, 34 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 5 turnovers. Yes, they got to come down too. Marcus Smart, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, 1 turnover.
It's crazy. Like, there's nothing to say anymore because it's just
We shouldn't have to say anymore. We really shouldn't. Look. Earlier in the show, you could be like, "All right, you guys being a little harsh. Give him some time." He's done nothing besides maybe a game here or there.
Over the course of the last month and a half, you haven't done shit.
Shit. Absolute dog shit.
Oh, he put up 46 in the game 6 against Milwaukee. Yeah, but where's he been since then?
Exactly.
And honestly, for the life of me, I don't know how the fuck y'all got out of that Miami series. I really don't.
They were lucky they got out of the Milwaukee series.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton not playing. Now Miami banged up. There's no excuse. They got past Miami. They did. Right? But the way they did it didn't look good.
No.
Didn't look good. And especially from his end.
The star.
Especially from his end. Now you're going against the finals against a complete team like the Warriors, which we've been saying they've been a complete team through the entire playoffs.
Every year.
And granted, Boston is a great defensive team because they stopped all this. Oh, ain't there's no way I'm letting 7 guys score fucking 10 plus points. Fuck you. There's no way.
They played great defensively the whole series.
Yes, they did. Wiggins, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks, 3 turnovers. That motherfucker just had a complete game. Green, 12 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 5 turnovers. Green, clinching game. He played above where he was this series. Thompson, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 turnovers. Curry, 34 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers. Poole, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover. What I had written down for that last game was just the Warriors smelt blood. They smelt blood after they beat them in Game 5. They smelt it.
Yeah.
And there was no way they were leaving without that trophy.
I agree. For as close as the game looked as far as stats wise, and only losing by 13, bro. Like you said it the other day before we did the show. If he puts up his average of 25, 26, or 23 to 24, totally different ball game.
Yeah.
Maybe they make it to Golden State for Game 7. Yeah. Still lose, but maybe
or even win.
I don't think they're.
All right, or maybe instead. All right, so they went up instead of going up 2-1, right, and then letting Golden State win the next 2 games. Maybe they split.
Yeah.
Right. Then it's different. Maybe. It's. Look, it's an accountability thing. You've been labeled. You didn't label yourself, so that's not your fault.
Yeah.
The media labeled you a superstar. Okay.
They put all this hype on you.
Maybe preemptively. And that's not your fault. But you've been given that label, and now this is your responsibility. If you're not meeting that responsibility, then you have to take accountability. And that accountability would be to say, I played like dog shit, and that will not happen again. And then make sure it doesn't happen again. And then guess what?
Yeah.
In 3 or 4 years, we may be talking about him in a different light, and all can be forgiven.
Yeah, it's possible.
Right?
But I got a funky feeling in my gut that it's not going to happen.
I have that feeling too, but we can be proven wrong. Stranger things have happened. Boston had a good season. They really did. They started to go 25-25, and then switch it around, then finish second in the East, and then bring yourself all the way to the fucking finals. It's a great season. Yes, you didn't get the final goal, but at least Boston now, from an organizational standpoint, they know they have the blueprint. Now they just got to add depth, and depth that'll matter.
Right.
And now you can expect, all right, we're the same team, but we're deeper, so we're better. So now you feel comfortable if you're going against Miami next year and Milwaukee that are healthy, right? And the Nets, if whatever debacle that's going to fucking turn out to. That. And then Chicago, you can still compete, and you can compete, and not only compete, but go back to the same place and potentially win it next year.
Yeah.
So, like we just said, things can change. He can change our mind. But for this year, until we reach the playoffs next year, I'm not changing my tune unless he changes the station for me.
Yeah.
Straight laced like that. If you got a problem with it, I don't really give a shit. I really don't give a shit. Because you're not about to sit here and tell me or you that he is something which he's clearly not.
Yeah,
if he was, then we would have seen it. Yeah, he averaged 23, 7, and 7, right? But that 23, 7, and 7 was meaningless.
What good is that?
It had no impact. That 23, 7, and 7 had no impact. Statistically, yeah, it did. But game-wise, no, it didn't. They could have paid somebody less to put up almost the same production. And it would have been
like
the
you
same
said, the
thing.
one game, I think the first game, he put in the first half, he puts up, 21 points? And then the whole second half, he puts up 6?
Or no, 5.
Oh, but he scored 20, whatever it was.
Yeah, he scored 27 points. Bro, he scored 20 in the first half, and then poof.
That was it. He
gone.
Disappeared.
Look, we also said weeks ago, if you went out in every quarter and put up 8, 8, 8, and 8, that's 32 points, right? Or we even say 7. Yep. That's 28. You're consistent. So that means you're scoring through each quarter consistently and contributing to the game.
Moving the ball, playing
Moving the ball,
defense,
playing
all that
defense,
stuff.
assisting, rebounding. But for you to have a great half of 21 points, right? And then just poof. Yeah, I mean, like the Wizard of Oz, gone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, name me one legend that's done that.
None, as far as I'm concerned. At least the ones that we've been watching since we could watch basketball.
Oh, dude, not even that. We'll be sitting here until the end of time. Oh no, we'll be sitting here live until Jason Tatum's career is over. Because he probably may be the only one.
It's possible.
It's possible.
I mean, his current atrocity of a contract that they gave him is over, I think, in 2 years.
No, yes, but he could still live up to it with 2 more monster years and adding a ring. That's how he lives up to it, and he actually plays his ass off in the playoffs.
Yeah,
That's how, as an organization, you're like, it's a give and take, right? All right, I gave you that, but you gave me this. You know,
yeah.
they wouldn't be shooting themselves in the foot 3 or 4 years later, like, fuck, why'd we sign him?
I feel like that's how they feel right now, despite whatever the GM can say in his interviews with ESPN and whatever. Bro, he played like fucking dog shit. How about you reassess?
Now, there's some potential trades coming in the NBA. The Kyries, the ADs, the Levines, and you possibly have here in the next few days, you may hear that the New York Knicks signed Jalen Brunson. I read an article the other day that Jalen Brunson has disclosed to teammates and former teammates that his return to Dallas is that's a wrap.
No.
Now, that sucks for Dallas, 100%.
Yeah, but they have. I assume they have money to spend, and I don't see Mark Cuban not getting any weapons to put around Luka. I mean, if he doesn't, that would just
Yeah, but we just had that problem this year. There was not enough weapons around him, and when they won those games, the games that they won, yeah, those players showed up, but they disappear in games following.
That's why you need to get a bona fide 2 or 3.
Oh, yes, I understand that, but Brunson was consistent throughout the whole playoffs. He was consistent with Doncic. Now you lose Brunson. Now who's gonna be that guy to pair with him? Remember, like how we said off air, or just before, the NBA was duos, and now it's trios. They're still working in the department of duos. Now you're about to lose one of your duo of Jalen Brunson. Granted, if he goes to the Knicks and doesn't do shit, but still for your team, that's a big loss.
Yeah.
Now, Zach LaVine, goodbye. See you. Goodbye. Especially LeVar Ball. Oh, LaVine doesn't want to be second fiddle to DeRozan. He should go to L.A. with LeBron. Huh?
Yeah.
What? Did you just say that? Because you know if he goes to L.A., it's not even second fiddle. He can be like third fiddle. And LeBron's only one guy. At least with DeRozan, you're a duo. Yeah, DeRozan gets a little bit more shots and is the man, but
That's because he's number one. Number one's guaranteeing he's got to shoot the ball at least 20 times a game.
Exactly. You're number 2, so you're going to shoot damn near almost close to 20 times a game.
Something like that.
We've had you for years. Yes, you're a great player, but you haven't proven that you're the number 1.
I wouldn't say he's a great player, but he's a really
good player. He's a really good player. That's my fault. He's a really good player. Right? But for you to be like, oh, I don't want to be here no more, then goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye. That's what for the life of me blows my mind about a player like Zach LaVine. You're in Chicago. The legacy is Michael Jordan and then Derrick Rose and then other players. You don't want to add your name into that history line? How stupid could you be? Because if you go to LA, you're playing with LeBron until he leaves, and then your career is almost on its way down as well.
And trust me, even after LeBron walks away, if he went to LA, he's definitely not a number 1. So
no, and Laker fans would probably be like, "Yeah, we appreciate your time and what you did for us, blah 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 blah." But you ain't going in this ring of honor.
No,
There's no way.
not at all.
So that's what like baffles me about these players nowadays. Yeah, I understand you want to get paid. Okay, well, everybody wants to get paid. We know this, but
Yeah.
they bring in a all star, a future Hall of Famer in DeRozan to help you and to help the team, and you're gonna say I won't be here no more. Bye. There's the door. Close it, please. When you're done. And I expect all your shit out by tomorrow. No bullshit. And if it's not, I'll fucking mail it to you. You saying I'm not a Bull no more? You are no longer a Chicago Bull. Go fuck yourself. So you cutting me? No. You stupid. I'm trading your ass, motherfucker. Now get the fuck out of my office. Yeah, I'm sorry. That to me, that's selfishness. And of course, with LeVar Ball saying it, we know that's just selfish.
Yeah.
This is the guy who said I could beat Michael Jordan by 9-1.
There's
Motherfucker.
him, just like all his brothers and his father. They got a big fucking mouth.
The only one that's actually fucking putting their money where their fucking mouth is LaMelo.
Yeah.
That's the only one. It's the only one. LeVar is up and down. Too many injuries. And for the life of me, I don't know. For the life of me, I think I would have told my dad, "Can you chill? Just ease, man. Just ease off it, please."
But like, yo, bro, you're not the one playing. All right, I am. Granted, you helped get us to this point in such a way. You've had an impact on it. But bro,
no, you built us a brand to ride out for the rest of our careers, even after basketball. Yes, you've done everything for us, and I love you. Can you just please come off it? Like, ease up off of it. Just let us play. Yep. Let us do some shit, and then when we do some shit that's like known to the world, in a compliment.
Accomplishment. Cat got your tongue, D.
I have 3 of them around me, so one of them's got it. Accomplishments, then boast to the world. Oh, I fucking told you this and that. Dog, we didn't even cash our first rookie check, and you already talking shit? And Godfrey, dude, you're talking, minus us, you're talking shit to the Black Jesus of basketball. Are you out of your fucking mind? Dude, if you were a Kobe, hey man, you Kobe. You arguably maybe you can do that. Or you LeBron, you can do that. I'm LeVar Ball. Who the fuck is you? I didn't know anything about you until your sons.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of those, yo, whose man's this? Whose friend is that? Who invited him to the party? Oh, I run the party. No, you don't. Escort that motherfucker out.
Yeah.
All right. New segment. Gonna have some fun here. The hardest and the funniest names to say in sport. Danny, flip a coin or?
I don't really give a shit.
All right, we'll flip a coin. We'll do this. If I have a fucking coin. Yeah, I got one. I got a fucking penny. Where's my loafer? All right, Claude in the air.
Heads.
Heads it is.
All right. So he played for the Browns back in the late 60s, early 70s. But we have a fair hooker. We have a fair hooker. We definitely do. For the first time in history, we have a fair hooker. Not trying to get over on people.
Yo, I'm so done with you right now. So done. Like, yeah, baby, I can do that for 20. I can do that for 40. Well, this bitch know how to negotiate. That's a fair hooker right there. Tell your pimp I appreciates you.
Yeah, for real. Definitely. All right.
All right. This guy was a catcher for the Rangers and a couple other teams: Braves, Red Sox, Marlins, Diamondbacks, Tigers, and Blue Jays. For the life of me, I'm going to give this a shot. Jared Sotomayor.
Uh, Jared Sotomayor.
Yeah, thanks, because I have the translation here, but like if you just look at it, all I see is Saltalamachia.
Yeah.
It sounds like his forefathers had discovered salt with macadamia nuts, and they were like, "That's our name, Saltamachia."
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I know who that was. So I mean I just know how to say his name from years of
Yeah,
hearing
from
it.
hearing it, because when you first stare at it, you're like, "Nah." Does that say salmon and macchia? Like samamachia. Saltamachia.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, the way it has it pronounced is Saltalamachia. Jared Saltamachia.
Right.
It's actually got a nice ring to it. I got bullshit you.
Kinda.
All right, who you got next?
All right, he was an outfielder for the Kansas City Royals.
All right.
I don't know which one of these is my favorite, but I like this one. Rusty Kuntz. Kuntz is Kuntz. Rusty Kuntz.
Doesn't matter how you spell it; it's still the word.
Yeah, like,
And then I know that's one of those nostalgic 1940 names or something like that. Like
he played back in the
Rusty's.
70s or 80s, I think.
All right, but still like an old school name. Hey, Rusty, how you doing? But then you know what your name, what your last name is. Like we're really, like you just threw everybody in the world that meets that person a layup for a joke.
Yeah.
Hey, you rusty cunt! I got WD-40 in my cock. Like,
or like fucking what's his name? Fucking he played for the Packers. Ha ha, Clinton Dix.
yeah, but that wasn't even his name. He changed it to that.
Well, then you're a bigger. You gave the what the fuck? Like, come on.
I said that you're an asshole.
Ha ha, Clinton Dix. Yeah, that's my name.
Yeah, that's my name. Don't wear it out. Ha ha.
Like seriously, like what the fuck?
Ha ha, Clinton Dix. Oh my god, that's honorable mention for the weeks. Ha ha, you got Clinton Dick.
You got dicked by Clinton.
You got Clinton Dick. That means I never had sexual intercourse with that woman. Yeah, we know, but you had oral intercourse, you cocksucker. That's undisclosable right now.
Monica, I don't know what he's talking about.
Monica who? We just let that lady go about last week. All right. Just looking at him, like, perplexes me. I want to give some background on him.
All right.
Fuck.
What?
You. His nickname is Wojo. He's an American basketball coach and former player who was the head coach at Marquette University for 7 seasons. He played with Michael K. Coach K, and coached with Coach K. All right, Steve Wojciechowski. All right. Steve, and then the pronunciation Steve Wojciechowski.
Wojciechowski, probably.
Wojciechowski. I mean, the how is all cap, bro. It's like, how? Wojciechowski. You know what I mean? Whoa, hold your housekeys.
I like that one.
Oh my god, the last one I'm looking at right now. Jesus fuck.
This one's a fucking doozy. So, I mean, it's not his full name, but it's his nickname, and it's like, how does he get this nickname? Like, and Pickles Dillhofer. Yep, William Martin Pickles Dillhofer. He was a catcher back in the 1900s, early 1920s.
Yeah, I don't. How do you? What do you?
I mean, I'm gonna see if they give a description why he got the name Pickles.
Well, that's why I was just
But
about to say. How and what do you have to do to receive a nickname, Pickles? Now, honestly,
let's see.
we know the obvious one. First of all, is you like to eat a lot of fucking pickles.
Right.
But what else? Like pickles, Dilla what?
Okay, so aside from his death at a young age, he was remembered for his colorful nickname, a play on Dill Pickles.
Yeah, say Dillahowski, whatever the fuck his name is, right?
Yeah, Dillhoffer. So like,
Yeah.
Pickles, like you would say, hey, Jar.
Yeah, hey Jar. Hey Jar, come over here. Jar, my name is Pickles. No, it's Jar, because you Pickles is plural.
Jar Dillhoffer.
Yeah, Jar Dillhopper. Yeah, it's a great day for baseball. We have Jar Dillhopper out here at the bat, and he's that's a single off the bat. Dillhopper around first, stops, gets his pickles in a jar, and sets down on first.
Oh man, some of these names, like I for the life of me, like
I think I'd
huh?
be upset.
It's like I remember, like it was a while back. I don't know what got me into it, but like I was looking up, like I was reading on a basketball player or something. So I started looking up, like, because like I was looking at somebody, and I read that they had kids, and then I read that what their kids' names were, and I was like, how the fuck would you name your son that? So I kind of looked into it with a couple other players, and I'm like, yo, that wasn't the only player that gave their child an odd name. Like I know for sure one of the child's names I remember was Boston. Like really? Like why is you're gonna name me Boston? Like
Well, all right, all right. Basically, what about remember Meet the Parents?
yeah,
He said his name was Greg. But his name was not Greg.
it wasn't Greg.
Yeah, and then they were like, what's your name? He's like Gaylord. He's like, wait a minute. So your name's Gaylord Fucker, M Fucker. He's like, your name is Gaylord Motherfucker, right?
Oh,
And then
man.
the parents, they're like, wait a minute. Oh shit, her middle name is Martha. Pamela Martha Fokker. Which is just shot. Like,
it is.
now, granted, Gaylord is.
And then now that I'm thinking about it, like that one scene was like, I'm watching you, fucker.
Yeah.
You're watching me, fuck her. What the fuck? Like, what are you, sick? You're a crazy old man. Oh man.
All right, the next on my list is a professional golfer. All right, just looking at this, Louis Oosthuizen or Oosthuizen. Oosthuizen or Oosthuizen.
I wouldn't even know how to look that up if I wanted to.
All right, so it's pronounced Louis Oosthuizen. And the Woost is W-U-U-S-T Hazen. Woosterhazen.
Let's see if I can find.
It's spelled Oosthuizen.
Okay, you'd have to say that again because I definitely thought it was W-U-U.
No, that's pronunciation. That's how to pronounce it. But it's Louis Oosthuizen.
Oh,
Woosterhazen. Woosterhazen.
Oh, okay.
Woosterhazen.
I see who you're talking about.
That motherfucker German and a motherfucker.
He looks like it.
Hey, that Woosterhazen.
It looks like you fucking eat brats for fucking breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I mean, when I just seen it and then I seen the pronunciation, I was like, yo, why are there O's there then? How does an O make a woo?
Woo.
A woo. Woosterhazen. What? I'm going to just call you Ooze. Hey, yo, Ooze.
Yo, oh.
Oh. All right, we're gonna take let's take a 30-second break.
All right.
Everybody, go get yourself a drink, snack, take a piss. little stretch in there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 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 Definitely got a stretcher. Oof. All right, we're just waiting on Danny, everybody. But we're gonna move on to the NFL draft grades when he returns. We're doing the NFC East this week. I'm doing the Cowboys and the Eagles. So shout out to my wife, all the Eagle fans out there. You can go fuck yourself. And he has the Giants and the Skins, or the Commanders, whichever one you would like to call them. I did the Redskins. That's how I know them for mad years. This division is going to be really weird this year. I mean, it's going to be between Dallas and Philly, essentially. We know this. I think the Redskins don't have a limb to stand on with Carson Wentz. The Giants, I think this is Daniel Jones' final shot. Even if it's not his final shot, I think he's out of there next year.
What?
No, I'm just talking to the people. I said we're moving on to the draft grades. I let them know you had the Giants and the Skins. I had Cowboys and Eagles. I said the division is going to be kind of weird this year. I mean, because it's going to be between Dallas and Philly predominantly.
Yeah.
You know, the Giants they can compete, but I think this is just Daniel Jones' final year. Even if he does good or not, he's definitely out on his ass.
I don't see them competing at all.
No, they're going to compete. They're going to win maybe one or two more games than they did last year. But it's nothing like they still have a long road ahead of them.
Very.
And the Redskins, they don't have a limb to stand on with Carson Wentz. I'm sorry.
Nope.
I'm sorry. He's just.
And
besides
with everything going on with that organization.
Wow, that's a shitty place to fucking be. I'll tell you that. That's a
Yeah.
shitty fucking place to be.
100%.
Especially, taking over as the number one quarterback. That's a shitty fucking organization right now to be a part of. With everything going on. Especially the owner doesn't want to partake in court hearings about the suspect work environment, and
his
not only that,
assault charges back from 2009 and everything.
Yeah, and mind you, he declined it because he said he's leaving the country. Maybe for vacation, I don't know, but that to me, when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, red flag, red flag, red flag." What do you mean you leaving the country? Only put it this way: if you got dirt on your name now in America, and you like, "Yeah, I'm leaving the country," everybody be like, "That motherfucker guilty."
Yep, 100%.
We talked about it last week, and we'll just touch on it real quick before we dive into these draft grades. He's got to go.
100%.
He's got to go. He's just not good. He's not good for football right now.
I even read an article today where I think Goodell testified at court or something where he told the Supreme Court that he doesn't have the authority to remove him as owner.
He does.
I don't know how it works when it comes to the legalese and all that stuff like that with the NFL and whatnot, but
he doesn't. He needs it has to go to a vote to all the owners.
So why hasn't that essentially happened?
Because they haven't finished their investigation on if he was stealing money from the ticket sales or not, and then everything else that's going on. The NFL, all right, look. The NFL, we know the NFL works in their own judicial system. You could be proven not guilty outside, but to them, they work by their own rules and regulations. So as I said, you could be innocent by the eyes of the justice system in America, but they could find you guilty and discipline you the way they want to. And that allows them to be as patient and take as long as they want to do what they think they need to do to find the right information and make the right decision. Now, granted, I've never been a fan of Roger Goodell. I probably never will be. He changed the game in too many ways that hurt the game in my eyes.
Yeah, and if you can do all that, you can't get a guy removed from a fucking organization. Like, come on, man.
I heard, like you just said, with the Supreme Court. I think he lied too. He lied to the Supreme Court. They were like, "What about the David Portnoy situation?" He was like, "Oh, who that?" They're like, "What you mean, who that? You the commissioner. Everything go through you.
Right?
How you gonna stand up here on the stand and we ask you a question? Go, who that? What the fuck you mean, who that? You're not a janitor. You're the commissioner.
Right.
So you're telling me as a commissioner you have colluding inside of your facility and your ranks and you don't know about it? I'm sorry, in Roman times, about a week or so later, you would get stabbed to death. And then somebody else would take your spot.
Yeah. Caesar real fast.
Yeah.
Crazy shit, man. Fucking Roger Goodell. But, you know.
It is what it is. I mean, he's done some positive things for the league. Well, as safety wise. Yes.
You just gave me an idea for a hate it or love it next week that kind of revolves around him in such a way.
Dude, he's a fucking piece of shit.
I agree.
He changed the integrity of the game. Yes, he's gotten it safer with the equipment and the advancements in health and safety, which I love. But just the rule changes that he made, I did not like. We're all right. So in the old rules, you had 10 yards of contact between a corner and a wide receiver before pretty much essentially PI would be called.
Right.
That went from 10 to 5. Then it's you can't hit the fucking quarterback low even if you're falling into him because the lineman pushed you into him. You can't hit him high. You can't hit him. You can't hit him as he releases the ball. Dude, I'm a 300-pound lineman running at full speed, and you want me to dial back at the last moment? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like I said, if I was a coach, hit him. I'll pay the fine.
If
Light him up.
If a player like that does that, what if the player does it and then gets hurt?
Exactly.
Okay,
I'm not going to tear my ACL because I'm going to protect you. Fuck you.
Right. And I get it with health and safety protocols, and obviously as time advanced, things need to get a little bit safer. But when you sign up to play football, you know what you're signing up to do.
Especially like if I'm a nose guard and I'm rushing the passer and I have the lineman on his heels, right, and I see you about to throw the ball, so I throw my hand to try to bat it, and I hit the top of your helmet. Flag roughing the passer? Are we? Look, dude, it's not like I railed into him coming around the edge with my shoulder pad into his helmet. I swung my arm, dog.
That needs to change.
That's got to change immediately.
But that's already been around for a couple of years. That's not changing anytime soon.
No, it's gotten worse as the years have gone on.
Yeah, they would have altered that and changed that with the rules if initially they were going to or wanted to, but no.
This is why I have hope. When Roger Goodell finally, which I'm hoping the courts and everything, they bring out something where they can actually, all right, you got to go. And the next guy that comes in can dial it back or change it in a way where it's better. You know, I would love for the new commissioner to come out and be like, all right, look, what Roger Goodell did, you know, you did a good, I'm not doing that shit. I'm bringing this game back as safely and healthy as I can to its core.
Rightfully so.
Enough with the bullshit. Oh, I smacked him in the helmet. Flag. No, not doing that. You know what I mean? Now, if I went to swing my arm, I grabbed you. Oh shit! I did grab a face mask, and I grabbed your face mask, and I pulled. Yeah, of course, that's a flag. But if I just smack you on the top of the helmet or the side of the head,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Can we look? This is a gladiator sport. We know this. This is not for. I'm sorry, it's not for the weak.
No, the faint of heart.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. I remember a time where me and you would watch at least once a week. Somebody was getting put.
Put
man. like he dead. Somebody call an ambulance because that motherfucker dead. And honestly, I fucking loved every minute of it. Every fucking minute of it.
Hell yeah.
Every minute of it.
Even if it was against your team and it was that's on a play like that's like whatever. Like
that's one of those. Woo! Now that is a fucking hit.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So all right, so let's kind of got sidetracked, but let's dive into these draft grades. I'll go first. I'll lead off with the Dallas Cowboys. Round 1, pick number 24, Tyler Smith, offensive tackle out of Tulsa. Round 2.
I remember that draft too. You were like fucking.
Oh my god.
He said half the name. You were like, yes.
Tyler Linderbaum. Like, yeah, baby, yeah. Tyler Smith. Who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
Pick number 2, number 56, Sam Williams, edge rusher at Ole Miss. Okay. Round 3, pick number 88, Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver out of South Alabama. Round 4, pick number 129, Jake Ferguson, tight end, Wisconsin. So out of this list, I like two of the picks. I like the edge rusher, and I like the tight end. A
You
third
don't
round
like
pick
that
out of
lineman?
South Alabama. Who the fuck does South Alabama play?
You don't like that linebacker though? I mean, that offensive lineman they
No,
drafted.
I wanted a center. All right, if he does good, he does good. I'm happy about it. I didn't want him. I wanted the center. The Cowboys were the best is when we have great centers, especially an athletic center like he was, and how we covered him. All American wrestler.
Right.
He was ranked top. It was just that injury that dropped his stock. But other than that, that's the best center in the draft. So I gave him a C plus. I wasn't happy. As a Cowboy fan, I was being generous as a C plus. Uh, just because we addressed things we needed to address. We needed another edge rusher for Randy Gregory. We replaced him with him. We needed another lineman. Yes, we got Tyler Smith. I don't agree with the wide receiver pick. I mean, I like the tight end pick. I want to see how he's gonna impact this system with Dalton Schultz. But
Yeah, have a nice dual tight end attack threat.
yeah, for me, I like the formula they went with. Offensive tackle, edge. We could have went another offensive guard or something like that. Maybe a center, and then
Instead of the wide receiver.
and then the tight end.
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously they're looking for somebody. So for me personally, you know how we've said I like to work from inside out. I'm not outside in. So
right.
for me to waste my third round pick, the 88th pick on a wide receiver out of South Alabama.
When you guys have enough weapons already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so
Okay.
actually, I'm gonna go over the Redskins first,
Ooh, all right.
because they have less picks to go over, and I want to bash them. Um,
He's still today just fucking click, click, click. Hold still.
yeah. So with their first pick in the first round, they took wide receiver Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. Whether he's good or not is not up for debate. The whole thing is this organization is in fucking shambles right now, and with as many holes as this team has, you really take a wide receiver with your first pick. Like, I don't know who's dumber, you or Atlanta.
Well,
Like,
the only way I could defend the Redskins right now is the fact that they're in a standstill with Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin wants to get paid. Does he have a right to get paid the amount he's asking for? I think so, with the amount of level of quarterback talent they've had there. But that's why they drafted him. Either they gonna offer him a deal that favors them, or he's gonna take a walk, or he's gonna play out the rest of the season and then he's gone.
I mean, I get that, but there's so many other holes that the team needs. Like, really? Like, just because you're worried he's gonna walk away, oh well, we're just gonna replace him. Um, oh shit. A football team is more than a fucking wide receiver. You have other holes, other issues to address.
No, I 100% agree with you.
I just,
Look, if
I
you're a competing team for a Super Bowl and all you're missing is a wide receiver, then
take him.
obviously you take him in the first or second round. But
Right.
a team that's in shambles, like they are, yes, they have a quarterback that can, barring if he stays healthy and doesn't make stupid fucking passes, he could play the quarterback position pretty well. He could be a
Yeah.
starter, Carson Wentz. So I understand. All right, let's get him a weapon. We may not give Terry the contract, but at least Carson will have him for the year, and then he'll have him. We have a pretty good running back. I mean, we have a decent run game, better than our passing game. So, all right, it's an okay pick. I don't agree with it, but it's an okay pick.
I mean, it is, but it's like, yeah, no, like. So their next pick in the second round, they took defensive tackle Fedarian Mathis out of Alabama. I like this kid. I think it's a solid pick. I definitely was looking for Minnesota to take him in a later round, but they obviously went in different directions.
They probably on their board.
I think I can see him being a day one starter. Um, I mean, that defense is going to need all the help it can get. So, you know,
Yeah, that defense was, you know, barring last year, Washington fans were like, "Oh, our defense is elite. Our defense is that."
yeah, right.
That year it was pretty good. Last year it wasn't so good. Sorry, it wasn't.
You can't be elite one year and then bottom of the league the next.
Exactly. And then people, the Chase Young lovers, oh, Chase Young is better than Micah Parsons. Granted, I told everybody on this show I didn't want Micah Parsons.
You love him now.
I love
You
him now. It was a
definitely
great
want.
pick. Yeah, look, I put my foot in my mouth. I just thought he was too small to play the position at linebacker. He proved me wrong. Put my foot in my mouth. I'll take everything
Right.
back I said, you know. But barring that, I don't know if that's the right guy.
Yeah,
You know, Chase Young is a phenomenal player,
he is.
right? But he's not on Michael Parsons' level. Granted, they play two different positions. I would say he's one of the best defensive linemen in the league, 100%. Last
When
year,
he's healthy.
yes, when he's healthy. Last year was his first injury. So hopefully he comes
That's a
back.
big injury, though.
Yeah, that is. Hopefully he comes back and he's the same player that he was when he left.
Yeah.
You know, I like him. I like his tenacity. And the ball's on you to be on Washington 2 years ago and be like, I want Tom. Are you fucking high, dude? Out of all the people you could have picked to play in that wild card round, you wanted Tom Brady. Well, we know where that went, but
Yeah, that went to shit real fast.
so they could use some help on defense. Yeah, especially if they're going to play against the Cowboys and the Philly, who loaded up,
Right.
6 times a year. And then you got the Giants. Those games are competitive. And then you're playing other people. And we know the offense is in a flux. Carson's not the guy forever,
No.
And they're still trying to just retain guys at a good price. So when this guy comes, they have players.
Yeah. If the guy ever comes.
Yeah, but who knows where this... Like, I would feel personally better if Dan Snyder was removed from the equation.
They get a new owner. He cleans house, brings in his own people, and
Yeah. And then...
okay, then now we're getting the ball rolling.
Yeah, it's a fresh start. So I can't really hold you to what you're doing. It's a fresh start. Whoever you hire, whatever system you put in place.
Yeah.
So I would feel better about that. The fact that he's still there and everything that's going on with them, I just think it's a big distraction to that organization, to the fact that now everybody almost in such a way has to walk on eggshells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as a rookie, I wouldn't be happy about going there.
No, and you can't pick and choose where you get drafted to. But I'll tell you what, if I was a free agent, I'd be staying fucking far and clear from fucking Washington.
The only way I'm going to Washington is if they make me the highest paid person at my position.
Yeah, essentially.
I'll take
But
that.
then even
I'll
then,
take
it's like,
the
no,
L.
it's like not, because then I'm gonna waste the better part of my career
But
to
I'm
go
saying-
play
but-
for a team that's not competitive.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're like if you were a Stephon Gilmore, right? Essentially, your career's got about 3-4 years left, right? And they break the bank open for them 3 to 4 years. Well, guess what? Sold.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm Gilmore, a player like that, I fuck the money. I'd rather take a pay cut and go somewhere else and have a chance.
Yeah, but
to win.
Gilmore's won Super Bowls already with Tom.
Okay, and well then you should still have the hunger to want to continue to win.
Oh, of course, with my money in my pocket. But no, if I'm a young player and I'm on the docket, no, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless, like I said, if Dan Snyder is removed from the equation and everything is solved on the court cases and everything going down,
Right.
then I'll go. But other than that, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
And right now, even like, all right, the Giants, they don't even have that big of issues. Just, whatever's going on there. If I'm a free agent, I don't want to go there. Fuck that.
Like for the Giants, their issues really, I think, primarily are just on the field. They don't have that kind of issues
On
with
the field
owner.
and upstairs. Yeah. Yeah, no, dude, they just Gettleman, instead of firing him, they let him retire.
Well,
So
whatever.
they still paid him.
But I mean, they don't have to worry about an owner fucking sexually assaulting people and hiring someone or paying someone to hide it and then lying and whatever the fuck is going on. Like, you don't have that going on.
This is also very true. But for the life of us, we couldn't figure out why they wouldn't draft a lineman for what, 10 years?
Something like that, and then they want to go sign on over the hill fucking Nate Solder.
Yeah. Well, look, that's he came from New England.
Still,
I know he wasn't that exactly over the hill, but it's like, oh, you play for New England. You play really good for New England. Why can't you do that here? Well, that's Bill Belichick, and only Bill Belichick knows.
yeah.
When Bill lets a guy go, it's like, damn. Was it just because of the money, or was it because he can't perform to the money? So it may make people look at
Other
players that come out of
differently.
New England differently.
Yeah.
Because Bill can call a guy off the couch, and the guy will look like a fucking all-star. He goes somewhere else, and it's just
Right. So with their final pick in the third round, they took running back Brian Robinson at Alabama. I think this kid looks good.
yeah, that's depth.
No, but this is a big boy right here. This I think.
Oh, they got a power back.
That's what I'm saying. Like this kid looks like a fucking freight train.
Oh, so the
just
goal line, third down shortage. All right, I like that pick for them, man. That's a good compliment for their back. Fuck, who is their running back?
I don't know. I didn't look because I really think he's going to be and I think he's going to end up being their number one within the next 2 years or 3 years. But
I don't know. Big boys don't last like that.
no, but I mean he's young, so you figure at least for the first couple years, you're going to get the most out of him like that.
Oh, McKissick.
And how old is he? What is he, like 26, 27?
And Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, the lifeblood of a running back's not that long.
No. So I could see what you're saying. Yeah, that could possibly happen in the next 2-3 years. But I think the NFL essentially has moved past the big back. Like,
Yeah.
not that they've moved past it, but you're not gonna run every down. Like, look, I think Zeke is probably one of the biggest guys in it, like, since been drafted as a running back.
Or Marshawn Lynch, or
No, those are before him. I'm saying the last guy almost is like Ezekiel Elliott, which was like the biggest guy as a running back, right?
he don't even look that big though.
Look
He
at
really
look at
doesn't.
him 2 years ago. That motherfucker was fat, out of shape. And for me, for one, is how does an organization you let a guy come into training camp or the facility at that weight as a running back?
Yeah.
I'd be like, you better start running. Where, coach? Everywhere.
And for every pound that you don't shed,
I'll fine you.
Yeah, you need to get to this weight. So if you're 10 pounds short, well, that's 10,000 per pound.
Yeah,
So,
you got to be at playing weight. How are you going to help us being this heavy?
Yep, I agree.
All right,
But
so
I gave them an overall to be generous because I like the running back and I like that wide receiver. If and when Snyder's gone and if he's still there, I gave him a generous C. That was even against my better judgment. I should have given him a fucking D, but
well, no. All right, well, in retrospect, like we said, almost every team every year predominantly should be looking for offensive linemen, right? They couldn't even keep Fitzpatrick upright for longer than what, a week or two, and he got hurt, and then Heineke had to take back over. So
he was getting
his shit pushed in. Yeah, he was getting his shit pushed in. So, as an organization, I understand the wide receiver move. I get it, taking the best available player in the first round at that point, right? Who could be a future wide receiver star, who you don't have to pay as much, depending on what goes down with
Right.
McLaurin. But why wasn't there an offensive lineman somewhere in that mix? There has to be something there to address that need. You can't just let that go unheard of. Because now let's say Wentz gets hurt again. Then you got Heineke back out there getting his shit pushed in once again. Yeah, they had the one good season where they went to the playoffs. I don't see that coming again. I just don't.
No.
I don't see it coming.
Not at all.
All
I
right.
agree.
So I'm going to move on to these Eagles, the Eagles. Round one, pick number 13, Jordan Davis, defensive tackle, Georgia. Great pick. Especially with Fletcher Cox on his way out in the coming years. Great pick if he amounts to what he's supposed to. Round two, pick number 51, Cam Jurgens, center, Nebraska. I like the pick. Good center. Give Hurts a little bit more time and also running alleys for his running backs and also Jalen Hurts if he wants to take off.
Right.
Now, I believe they traded their first round pick, right, to acquire A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
All right, so they did that move. Round three, they picked number 83. I don't know how he went all the way to round three. It blows my fucking mind. So that's a cause for concern. We'll have to pay attention to him next year. But N'Kobe Dean, linebacker at Georgia. This is who I wanted the Dallas Cowboys to pair with Micah Parsons. Almost the same player,
Right.
but they play on opposite ends, or he's like a right or a left, as Micah's the middle.
Right.
I gave him a B plus. If they hadn't traded their other first round pick, this may be a B minus, possibly a C plus or just a B. But because of that AJ Brown move, I gave them the plus.
And not even that, but like their moves are solid. They
Yeah.
addressed needs that they needed to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now we
Now,
don't.
like despite whether they pan out or not, it's their picks are taking them in the right direction.
They improved their defense, right? They have some vets on their back end with Slay and whoever else they have. So they got a linebacker and they got a defensive tackle for the guys that are going to be on their way out in the next year or two to replace them. Then you got a nice, good center, right? You know your identity is you run the ball.
Yep.
Now you're adding A.J. Brown in there with Devontae Smith to add some, the way I would put it, some Keysmo. Like, I got a dick to throw around now, you know what I mean? I got some guys out there. It's not just Devontae, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you may roll coverage his way. Now you got A.J. Brown, who's going to be the number one. So if you're a fantasy player, I would say watch out for Devontae Smith. That's a sleeper pick right there because that double coverage is rolling definitely to A.J. Brown, which is going to leave him quite a few one-on-one situations on the outside.
Yeah. No, I agree. So,
All right.
I will go over the Giants.
The G-Men. The Giants.
I honestly like their draft. I think they drafted very well this year.
About fucking time. How many years did it take? So it took you all that horse shit then to let your fucking GM retire for you guys to actually have a decent fucking draft.
Yeah. And you actually drafted a lineman this year. So with their first pick in the first round, they took defensive end Kayvon Thibodeau. Like even when I was going over him weeks and weeks ago, I just think this kid is a monster.
Yeah.
Like he's NFL ready, and honestly, he's my pick for defensive rookie of the year.
Oh wow! That means he got to put up at least good 10 plus sacks.
At least.
You know, and like quite a few tackles for loss and solo tackles.
And I think if he's healthy, because I know from what I heard, I think he was dealing with an injury bug during OTAs and stuff. But if he's healthy and he performs, I definitely have him for my pick for defensive rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
With their next pick in the first round, they took offensive lineman Evan Neal out of Alabama. Great pick. Honestly,
they hit the nail on the head. And when we watched it live and they drafted Thibodeau first, and I know they had that second pick, I was weary.
Because you didn't really know where they were going to go.
I didn't know. No, I knew they were going to go lineman, but was he going to be there? That was the question.
I mean, it was only one or two picks later, but still.
Yeah, somebody can still snag him before you, man. And then you're like, fuck, now you're scrambling to find the next best lineman on your board or who you're not as comfortable with is Neal.
Right.
But I love that pick. Big, solid lineman who's going to protect whoever you got back there.
And, not for nothing, like, I was looking into him. He had two uncles that played in the NFL.
Really?
One was running back Cleveland Gary. He was a first round pick for the Rams in '89.
All right.
And then defensive lineman Jimmy Jones. He was a third round pick for Dallas back in 1990. And he won 2 Super Bowl championships with them.
Oh wow.
So his
He's got
bloodline
football
is,
in the blood.
yes,
Got it in the blood.
definitely. Their next pick in the second round, they took wide receiver Wandale Robinson out of Kentucky. From what I seen, I think he was definitely Kentucky's top receiver last year. Granted,
Who's Kentucky
playing, but at the same time,
outside of basketball?
yeah, essentially you're just trying to get Mr. Jones some more weapons. Whether he performs
Yeah, but
crazy
see,
this year,
I don't want to hear that.
I'm just saying.
Last year you just signed Kenny Galladay, and Kenny Galladay didn't do shit on a stick last year.
Well, I'm just saying.
And now you're expecting a rookie to do it? Yeah, it
No,
helps. It helps.
but-
It helps Danny Jones, but it doesn't solve the problem.
No, but I like their idea of trying to get him some more weapons and.
Or that next guy.
If they're because if they're gonna double Kenny, then
Exactly. But no, Danny's done after this year. I'm sorry. There's
I agree.
barring him taking you to a fucking Super Bowl or NFC Championship, it's done. Yeah, maybe a backup for you in our organization, but I know things were fucked up and you really didn't get the best shot at it, but you got a shot at it and you didn't do.
You didn't play well.
Yeah.
So their next pick in the third round, they took offensive lineman Joshua Ezeudu out of North Carolina.
That's a hell of a name right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
You would say a solid depth piece, but with the way that this team's looking, I wouldn't be surprised to see him win a starting job out of camp. He should definitely at least get some playing time with rotation. And,
He may develop into a starter later on.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
For their sake, at least.
Yeah,
And then,
for their draft history.
right. And then their last pick in the third round, they took defensive back Cordell Flott.
All right, we should have just rotated this segment of funny names and shit to the Giants for this segment because what in the fuck was? Say it again.
Cordell Flott.
Fla?
Flott.
Fla? I thought you said. At first, I thought you said flan. I was gonna start dying laughing. This motherfucker's a cream pie.
They took him. Like I said, last pick in the third round. He could develop into something, but he's most likely just a solid depth piece to have. But he depend. I don't know who they have now, but he could probably see some time. Rotating in as the third DB or something like that.
Yeah, but this is still
teams.
an uphill battle for the Giants. Yeah, they had a great first round, but that doesn't change their franchise around.
No,
They need another year or two of free agency and good drafts like that, and then we may be talking about them different. Until then, until I see somebody other than Danny Jones with the talent that's around them by next year, I don't see them going far.
like honestly, now that you're thinking about it, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, granted, it might have been an overshoot for him, but why not take Pickett at 6? At 5, or I get it. These guys might not be high-level first-round quarterbacks to take, but granted, what is it really going to take for Jones to perform for them to keep Jones around and give him a contract? It's going to have to be at least a playoff appearance, and I'm sorry,
It's going to have to be at least over 3,000 yards.
And I don't see that happening.
A 2-to-1 touchdown ratio, and a playoff win, and a playoff spot.
So why not at least? Granted, you don't know how things are going to go, but so why not at least take the lineman at 5, and then take one of those QBs at 7? Granted, it would probably be in.
Yeah, but this draft really wasn't that high on quarterbacks.
No, but I'd rather have any one of those guys in the draft over Daniel Jones.
Nah, I'm not doing that. At least I know what I'm getting with Daniel Jones. I already know what I'm getting.
Yeah, you're gonna get shit because you're not going.
Okay, this guy's a rookie. It could get worse. I could waste that pick. He can go out there and play worse than Danny, and then he's shot. So now I got 2 shot motherfuckers behind my line. That's finally rebuilt after 2 years or the next year. So you got the line, but you got 2 shit cans.
I think the guy. I think if I watch. Let's look over the course of
I
the
would
next
I
year.
wouldn't have been opposed to him going second round or third round. Matt Corral
No, but you know,
or Malik Willis, somebody of
yeah,
that nature.
but still, I feel like
There's no
they should have taken one of those 4 or 5 guys that were in the draft.
nah.
Whether it's with a first round pick or in the second round, I think all of those guys will be, even if one of them is a bench player, will be better than Daniel Jones.
There's no, not right now. All right. So basically, the only way we're gonna have proof of this is we're gonna have to see what Pickett does next year if he's the starter, which he's not gonna be. It's gonna be Trubisky until Trubisky fucking fucks a goose.
Either that or just until his contract is up and Pickett's ready. Or
Yeah.
until they feel he's ready, whatever. Because how are you going to know if he's ready if he's sitting? But then again, you know, can't sit forever.
All right. Well, put it like this: we're just gonna have to wait for their careers to be over, so we can have a versus. Danny Jones, Kenny Pickett. So now if they both look like shit, that should be a fun one. Because then it'll retain to this episode, which is going to be, well, they should have took fucking Kenny Pickett. And then we can look back and be like, yeah, maybe DJ was right. They had 2 fucking shit cans back there. Or he could blow up in Pittsburgh and be the next man. Then it's, all right, well, Danny, you were right.
I think Pickett's going to be, I think Pittsburgh is going to be Pickett's home
Small hands.
for the
Small
foreseeable future.
Small hands.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is my strong hand. My strong
That's
hand.
fine. Yeah, they all said Montana was too small. They all said Elway threw too hard.
Size-wise, too small.
As long as he can grip the ball and still throw it the way he does.
Yeah, but we're talking about the football. This is the biggest football he'll be playing with. So I suspect, depending if he starts, but I can call it right now, Pittsburgh Steelers fan. In those preseason games, he's gonna have 2 fumble sacks or more. Guarantee it, either by slap or by hit, because he's not gonna be able to fully grasp that fucking ball.
We'll see.
We shall.
We'll see.
All right. Let's take a 30-second break, and then we'll get back to our verses and then our top 5 for you motherfuckers. Back again. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? All right, Danny, what's the verses for this week?
Calvin Johnson versus Jerry Rice.
Oh, I got my boy Cal. So right off the rip, we know Jerry definitely played probably almost double that Cal played.
I mean, you know, if it wasn't for fucking
Injuries.
the Lions being fucking whores.
And injuries. He played through a lot of injuries, but majority injuries, and they wouldn't let him go.
That's what I'm saying. There's gonna be a part of my Hate It or Love It next week that's gonna dive more into that itself. But like Yeah, like fucking Detroit, y'all are just some fucking whores. You like
Exactly. You can honor
you
Matt. You
killed
can
two
honor Matthew.
careers,
You can honor Matthew Stafford, but you can't honor fucking Calvin Johnson.
or Barry Sanders.
Yeah, but that's all said and done, and it's
No,
also
but I'm saying it's the same concept. Like you can honor this guy, but you won't honor them.
yeah. But to be honest, Barry probably was going to play
Why?
maybe year or two more, and he was going to be really realistically done. Because Barry just didn't like. Put it this way: if Barry wanted to play, he would have fought, right? Or he would have just put on the Lions uniform and played anyway, right? So that's why I think if he even went to another team, it'd have been 2, 3 at the most.
But I tell you what, if that last 2 or 3 years, if he went to the right team, I bet you he would have won a fucking Super Bowl
Oh yeah, or been,
in the
broke
playoffs.
some records or playoffs,
Yep.
consistently. But like we're about to say with Calvin Johnson as well too. If they had let Cal go, Cal probably would have had another 5 in him.
At least because he was only 30 at the time.
Yeah, another 5 in him, and his stature as a wide receiver, Jesus Christ, he's a weapon, just on the field regardless because
Even
of
as a
his height.
second wide receiver, his
Exactly.
height, his wingspan alone, the size of his hands. Come on.
I mean, all right. So before Matt got his shot to go to the Rams, okay, everybody, including yourself, in such a way looked at Matt like, all right, you're good, but you're
You're
not.
pedestrian.
You're pedestrian, which he's not now. We can see if he's.
I feel differently, yeah.
You feel slightly different. It can be pedestrian if it leads to that.
But he still has a ring.
He still has
He
a ring,
played on a good team. He had a chance, and he played well in that game.
yeah, he played well. He did. So that conversation kind of has to change a little bit. That stigma around him has to change. Now, we also have to ring true that those Calvin numbers between him and Matt were legit. But if they were
Hmm.
on different teams, the both of them on a different team,
I could definitely see each one of them winning at least a ring.
and having
So,
more stats. So
yeah.
give us Jerry's stats right off the rip.
All right. So he was a three-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP, two-time Offensive Player of the Year, 10-time First-Team All-Pro, 13-time Pro Bowler, 6 times he led the league in receiving yards, All Decades Team, 1980s, 1990s, the 75th and 100th anniversary team. He won the Burt Bell Award, which goes to the best NFL player in a given year. Totaling his stats officially, he had 1,549 receptions, 22,895 yards, 197 touchdowns, 208 total, 62% percent catching percentage, averaged 14.8 yards per reception, and he had 23,546 total all-purpose yards.
All right. How many years did Jerry play?
I gotta look that up real quick. I didn't write that down. I think he played. I think he got drafted in like '84.
Just count the years up. It'll tell you. Or go down like where the career where they have the years.
Yeah, I'm looking him up right now.
It'll tell you by his age. It'll say like Calvin was drafted in 07. He was 22 when he retired. It was 2015. He was 30. So he played 8 years.
Yeah, Jerry definitely played more than 8. 15. I don't know. He played about 13, 14 years.
So 13, 14 years. All right, so let's just give him the 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's look at Jerry's quarterbacks. Steve Young, Joe Montana. Okay, so that speaks for itself. So that
Yeah.
we know why you were getting that yardage, which is not Jerry's fault, but Jerry definitely had a better quarterbacks. Matt is good. He's just on the cusp of being in the argument that he could get into the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
So Calvin played 8 years from 07 to 2015. Played 135 games. Started 130. 731 receptions. 11,619 yards in 8 years is bonkers.
Yeah.
Besides his rookie year and his third year with Detroit, which he was only 16 yards shy of 1,000. His rookie year, he was like 244, 244 from 1,000. Right. Every year after that, 2010, 1,020. The next year, 1,681. The next year, breaking Jerry Rice's record, 1,964 yards
Right.
in a
Now,
season.
Jerry played in I think it was 293 games total,
Uh,
or 284. So if you add on another 6 years for Calvin, how much closer does he get to Jerry's numbers?
uh, shit.
Be it that he was already 30 by the time he retired.
So say if he played another 5, right? To 35. So the last 2 years won't be they'll all right. So let's take his worst 2 years so far and make it his last 2 years. Okay. So the 984 and the 756. Okay, and then we'll take his 1,300 yards averagely a season, right?
Okay.
Or close to it, like over 1,000 at least. So we add on like 5,000 more yards to his 11,000. So he's at 15. I think the touchdowns would be probably closer. Give him 100 more touchdowns. Well, no, 100 more touchdowns, 5 years. No, that's 20 a year. All right, give him 70. He's at 153. All right. But I do think here's the thing, man. It's just so hard right now because Calvin was so great and he had Matt, who was pretty good. But just being in Detroit fucks that all up.
Yeah.
It fucks it all up to the point where it's like, if we placed them anywhere else, with each other or without each other, for God's sakes, put Cal with Tom Brady in fucking in 2012. You don't think Cal breaks 2,000 yards?
He definitely does.
The first wide
And
receiver
Brady
ever to
makes
break
sure of it.
the first wide receiver ever to break 2,000 yards. He did Randy Moss in touchdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Cal was a little bit bigger. Everybody's doubling him, so he's going across the middle more. But still, like that's my point of this argument. Yes, Jerry on paper is the better wide receiver, and the reason why we do this versus is it's a personal thing. It's not yes, stats have something to do with it, but it's for your team. If you're, let's borrow Detroit fans, Danny, Minnesota Viking fan, would you have loved to have Calvin Johnson on your team?
Absolutely.
As a Cowboy fan.
Like, when did you say Cal? Oh, Cal was drafted in what? 07?
Yeah.
08?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, that would only put him in the league for 1 or 2 years, but imagine putting him on that team with Brett Favre the year they lost to the Saints in the championship game.
They win that game.
Come on now.
I'm sorry, they win that game with Cal. You got Percy,
Sidney Rice, Adrian Peterson. Are you kidding me? Visante Shanko, and that line. Oh man, come on, dude.
Put him on the Cowboys. Terrell Owens, Calvin Johnson, Terry Glenn, Jason Witten.
Well, not even that. What was the year that they lost to the Packers on that bullshit ass call at the end zone?
That's the two shit. Oh, all right. So Dez, Calvin, Terrence Williams, I forget who else was the fourth, but DeMarco Murray, Tony Romo, that line, that defense.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. We high step out of fucking Green Bay. Like Deion Sanders high step, like, yeah, boy. So I don't think it would be way closer.
It would be.
Way closer. No doubt about it. Would Jerry have the edge? Yes. I think that's for the simple fact of who his quarterbacks were.
Yeah.
But that play does speak for himself because
And you
motherfucker
got
was
to
open.
figure, in the NFL back then, it was a different league than it was now.
Well, yeah, it's also you had that. He was running the West Coast offense, which was like kind of new at the time. Not kind of, but like the way he ran it was different.
And Bill Walsh knew what he was doing.
Exactly. And shout out to Bill Walsh for seeing what he had seen in Jerry that nobody else seen. Yeah, his 40 isn't the best, but his 20-yard splits are faster than anybody else.
And he was tall.
Exactly. Oh, well, he wasn't Calvin big, bro.
No, but
Jerry
I mean,
was, and Jerry had a work ethic like nothing else. So I'm not mad at anybody that's gonna take Jerry. I'm serious. I'm not. Jerry is phenomenal. Jerry's probably, if you want to argue it, is the GOAT statistic wise, right?
mm,
Okay.
I mean, even in his last 3 years when he went to Oakland, he puts up. These are his last 3 years in Oakland. 1100, 1200, and then the last year, 869,
Okay.
11, he almost 20 touchdowns in those 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, so yes, he was his generation's best wide receiver. He was an anomaly even going into that next era. But Father Time wins all.
Yeah.
So yes, anybody that picks Jerry, I don't blame you. I would too. But for me, I've seen Jerry play. I like Jerry. Jerry's a great wide receiver. I just historically wise, we have never seen a wide receiver build like Calvin.
Yeah. And probably never. Well, you could say DK Metcalf is the next closest thing.
Or Devontae Adams in such a way. But he was that trend of, oh, we can just get these big guys, these lengthy big guys that can actually be athletic. Like, without Cal, does Metcalf get a shot? Do these big athletic Kelvin Benjamin?
Probably not.
Probably
or,
not.
Or maybe they do, but they get drafted later on.
Yeah. We'll see, like my sleeper pick for this year, like I said, that guy that got drafted by Chicago, Velus Jones or Velus Williams. I forget his name.
I'm going to Google him.
Chicago. That's the next Cal. Right now. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I see cow shit out of him.
Velus Jones out of Tennessee.
That boy is physical and big and hard to tackle after the catch, just like Cal. And he can get it. He can go up and get it. He's one of them guys like, oh, just chuck it. You know what I mean? Just chuck it. I'll get it. Throw it in there. Put it in my wheelhouse. I'll grab it.
Right.
Now I put the poll up on Twitter, so it's on the D&D Sportcast. It's going for a day. Comment. Let us know what you think. Like I said, if you pick Jerry, that's fine. I'm not mad at you. I would pick Jerry too. But for me, personally, going up against Cal, I'm taking Cal.
So if you had the number one pick and both of these guys are on the board, you're taking Cal?
I'm taking Cal, yes. Now, what may sway me is who my quarterback is.
Yeah, I don't know.
So maybe, Danny, this is what we do for our dream teams. We do the verses.
We use all the guys we've used so far.
To make our own personal dream teams, and then we run it against each other. On Madden, 2K, and MLB. I think this is the best way to do it, because we argue each week. We take aside who we want,
As long as we can, as long as we can get or find that guy in the game, or
exactly.
make the guy somehow.
You would always take Randy Moss over Terrell Owens. I mean, literally, that was an eye opener for us.
It was. I really thought Randy was gonna really have the edge over Terrell.
In such a way, but for it to be poof,
Damn
like identical,
player.
same player, I'm taking Terrell.
Right.
Right, and now you would take Jerry. I'm taking Cal. So we already have two wide receivers.
Yeah.
My core is Terrell and Cal, and yours is Jerry and fucking Randy. Oh my God.
Yeah. That is.
Well, that's gonna segue us right into this next our next segment, top 5 dead or alive. We're gonna hit you with it, and then we're gonna skate off until next week, guys. We're gonna try to work on to see if there's more options for us to do more shows, maybe a little later on, or definitely like we said, September wise, we are gonna be doing at least a game once a week, commentating through a game cast, or if you guys want to watch it yourself and just listen to us commentate it instead of the regular guys, Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah.
All right, you started top 5 dead or alive wide receivers.
All right. Number 1, Jerry Rice. I yeah.
No. You're gonna laugh when I go with my list. Go ahead.
Number 2, Randy Moss. Yeah. Number 3, Michael Irvin. Number 4, Reggie Wayne. And then number 5, Andre Johnson.
Oh, you got fucking Optimus Prime in there?
Yep.
All right, peep this. I think people are going to laugh at this. Literally, we just had the verses. Listen to this. Calvin Johnson, number 1. Terrell Owens, number 2. Randy Moss, number 3. Jerry Rice, number 4. And number 5, Keyshawn Johnson.
Wow.
It's literally the opposite. Yeah, literally it's the opposite.
That's funny.
That is fucking funny. I didn't expect that. You just read off the names. I'm like, yo, it's literally like swapping minds. Literally.
Yep.
That's all it is. Well, that's the chemistry we got. I mean, that's just funny. I didn't think it was going to be like that. I mean, I looked into other wide receivers. They had Reggie Wayne. They had Marvin Harrison.
Hines Ward.
Larry Fitzgerald. Steve Largent. Don Hudson. Numerous guys. Lance Allworth. But that was the past, yes, and there wasn't the prototypical version of a wide receiver you can ask for. Now, Larry, if you want to put Larry on that list in your top 10, I'm not arguing that. Larry's a fucking trooper, but
yeah,
my top, like, this is our top 5 dead or alive. Like I said, you guys want to post your own top 5 dead or alive? Go to our Twitter page. D&D Sportscast is up there. And give us your top 5. We could talk about it. Look, we're not subject to just, this is our top 5, they're better. No, we're open to discussions to hear what your top 5 would be. That's why we do this top 5 dead or alive. It's our opinion. Now, people would be probably looking at me, why would you have Keyshawn Johnson in there? I'm sorry. Tell me a better slot receiver with that size. That's like putting Cal in the slot.
Does growing up watching him on the Jets and
the Bucks and the Cowboys,
does that also tie into the equation? Because growing up watching Randy, that ties into the equation as well for me.
And I don't blame that for you. It does tie into my equation, but if he wasn't the size he was and the player that he was, I wouldn't have put him in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wes Welker, a slot player, Cole Beasley, all these different guys that ran the slot. I'm sorry, I'm taking Keyshawn. That's like having 2 Cals out there. So you tell me I got Cal on the numbers and I got Keyshawn in the slot, and then fucking Terrell at number 2, or he's on the outside. I'm sorry, I have a wide receiver in the slot that is as big or bigger than your linebacker. And
I'm going to him every time.
Exactly. If my options aren't there on the outside, take it.
No, I agree.
No, but still, even from your end, like, I mean, Jesus Christ, that's a fucking list. I mean, our dream teams are already. You got Jerry and fucking and Randy. That's fucking woof.
Yeah, I know that.
We gonna have trouble doing these cornerback fucking verses. I'll tell you that.
Oh man, that's gonna be fun.
You know what I mean? I think honestly, people, we're gonna have to flip a coin on Deion. Whoever wins the coin toss best out of 3 gets Deion.
All right.
Because that's only fair. Because anybody, I'm sorry, on my end, anybody you put him up against, I'm taking Deion's side. Because there's nobody like Deion. There's nobody.
Yeah.
I don't care what you all, Richard Sherman, this, but there is
even
no.
that guy that played for the Cowboys back in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, there is nobody. Nobody, and I repeat, and I will never say. I'm not going to say. I'll never say it again. But for the last time, there is nobody like Deion Sanders.
No.
Ever, till this point.
There never will be.
I don't think there ever will be either. Yeah, we get versions of him. Devin Hester. That's Deion's special teams. That's the punt return, the kick return.
Right.
But nobody can play wide receiver, cornerback at a all pro level, catch touchdowns as wide receiver, being all pro, punt returner and all that.
And go play baseball.
Huh?
And go play baseball.
Yeah, and go play baseball and be the first player to play in 2 championships at the same time. Now, if he won, I'm sorry, Deion goes into not even the conversation. Deion is the best athlete to ever play a professional sport.
I'd probably have to.
Who's better?
Agree with.
Who's better?
You can't even say Jordan, because when Jordan went to play baseball, he didn't even make it into the majors. He was a minor leaguer.
Exactly, and Deion
wasn't that good.
Deion played for the Yankees, the Reds, and the Braves, and was on the Braves at the time when they won the championship.
Deion's career WAR in baseball is 5.5. 263 average, 39 home runs, 168 RBIs, 186 stolen bases. Come on, dude.
Exactly.
A 319 on base, come on.
And we know Deion's not playing every day because they didn't play him every day. If Deion chose to go and play baseball full time, all those numbers are going way.
He would have been a Hall of Famer in baseball.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
Especially for the steals, probably the runs batted in. His WAR would probably fucking almost quad. That WAR would explode.
Yeah.
That's going from 5 to I think at least 25. When it's all said and done, you give him 10 years in the sport. Oh, them numbers.
I could definitely agree with 10. Definitely.
10 years, because
he played 9 years total.
9 years total, but those 9. All right, so the first four, I would say.
Well, 89 and 90, he played for the Yankees, and then 91, 92, 93, he played for the Braves.
Yeah. And then what after the Braves? Cincinnati.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah, 94. Oh no, Atlanta, and then Cincinnati, San Francisco, and then back after 96 because he was in football. 97 he went back to Cincinnati, and then his last year in 2001 he played for Cincinnati.
Yeah, but those, I would say, after the first 4 or 5 years of his career, yeah, he was playing baseball, but he wasn't playing baseball like he was from 89 to like 90 something.
No, 89 to 94, no.
His career was more focused on football, and he won championships. So let's.
Yeah.
What was his last year with San Francisco?
Well, his only year in San Francisco was 95. He had 235 plate appearances, 214 at bats.
No, not the Giants. The Niners. What was his last year with the Niners?
Oh. Hold on.
Because that was his last Super Bowl year. I forget where he went after the 49ers, but I know he ended his career with Ed Reed in Baltimore in like 2001 or 2002, I believe.
Okay, so he was in San Francisco 1 year. That was 94.
Yeah, all right. So let's say after 94, right?
Played 14 games, 6 interceptions.
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl. Yeah, he won a Super Bowl. So in retrospect, let's say Deion wins that Super Bowl, and he's like, okay, I've won 3 Super Bowls. I'm definitely the greatest corner ever, or arguably. Now I'm going to walk away and devote from 95 to 2002, the length of his career in football, those 7 years to baseball. Yeah, Deion Sanders is the greatest athlete of all time at that point.
I agree.
If it went down that way. Because those steals are going to go to about 500-600, which that I think let alone would put him in.
Well, maybe not 5 or 6, but I would say definitely over 4.
No, but
3 to 4.
let's put Deion there. Let's put him at 5 or 6, right? Let's he played what 89 when he started playing baseball,
Yeah.
right? So 89 to 2002. So that's 12 years. That's a 10-year career, right? So let's give him those steals. For being a two-way player, honestly, I think that automatically kicks him into the Hall of Fame for baseball. You got a guy who was out there for almost 7, 8 years in the NFL, won 3 championships, decided, yeah, I think I'm done with this sport. Let me go fuck up that sport. Wouldn't that put him in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Damn,
Wouldn't that justifiably put him in? Like, what argument could you have against him to be in the Hall of Fame at that point?
Right.
Honestly, I think you would be a hater.
Absolutely.
Come on, this guy played 12 years in the MLB, and then he played like 8 years in the NFL while he was doing both in the middle of it, and went on to do things in the NFL that nobody ever could else do or replicate from one man. Then you go to baseball, and then you're out here doing shit that Ricky Henderson did
In less time.
in less time, and then beef up those stats.
Definitely a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're gonna end the show on that note. And if you got a problem with it, like I said, the Twitter's there. Let us know.
Yep.
Deion Sanders is the greatest athlete, even barring that, I think right now ever to grace sports.
Yeah.
And if you added in that hypothetically, there is no taking away. That's like taking away that Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. Dog, I have 7 rings. Tell me who else has 7 rings. Nobody. Conversation over.
Right.
Like, oh, well, I won more Super Bowls in fucking in the NFL than you did, Deion. Well, did you go and play 12 years of baseball and possibly win a World Series? Oh, you didn't, lad. I did, though. I did. I didn't see you out there hitting balls and fucking fielding.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us.
It was a good week.
Yes, it was. It was a great week. We may have some mic issues during this one. I'll have to fix that. But if we didn't, shit fire. It was a great episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't catch us now, you can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Anchor. You can catch us on Spotify. You can catch us on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, any fucking podcast you want. So have that.
We're out there.
Predominantly Spotify, YouTube, and Twitch is where you'll find us video-wise. Everywhere else is just going to be audio. Well, with that being said, like me and Denny said, have a good night, guys. We wish you guys the best. God bless.
Happy and healthy.
Yes. Stay healthy. We will see you guys next Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Peace.
It's been real. It's been fun. Has been real fun.